Chapter 457. When Shindai saw that Wang Zhong wasn't speaking, she nudged Wang Zhong's arm and whispered, "Atu, what are you thinking about? Why don't you say something and let the elders see your ability?" Wang Zhong shook his head. "I'm thinking about something. I'm afraid there's a conspiracy behind this." "What conspiracy?" Because of her shock, Shindai's voice was very loud. Shen Wangquan said, "Little Dai, why are you so surprised?" "Father, Atu said that there's something fishy about this." After saying that, Shindai winked at Wang Zhong. Her meaning was obvious. It was time to show off his real skills. Wang Zhong didn't want to be in the limelight, but since everyone was looking, he wouldn't show any fear. "Master, elders, this is my opinion on this matter." Wang Zhong told them about the disappearance of too many people, and the puppets left at the scene. Then he expressed his opinion. "I feel that the puppet sect is deliberately luring us over." Oh, everyone frowned. Last time, the puppet sect knew that we aren't to be trifled with, so they might be using this method to take revenge. Wang Zhong said, "But shouldn't the puppet sect's target be the Zhou family's formation? They want the Zhou family's formation, but they also have a target for our sect." Wang Zhong changed the topic and continued, "Although we know that this is a trap, we have to accept it. Sect Master, I'm willing to go down the mountain to investigate." Wang Zhong was quite interested in the puppet sect's puppet techniques. For example, if they wanted to do something bad, they didn't have to do it themselves. Instead, they let the puppets do it. It was very convenient. Considering that the fishing village wasn't far from here, Wang Zhong wouldn't be in danger. Shen Wangquan nodded in agreement. "All right then, but let the Grand Elder accompany you." "Yes, Sect Master." Grand Elder Weili nodded in agreement. The group quickly got ready to go. Weili stood at the front of the group and said to Wang Zhong, "Atu, I know that you young people are impulsive. Don't be impulsive when you encounter something, lest you fall into a trap." Wang Zhong knew that Weili meant well, so he nodded in agreement. Suddenly, someone nudged him from behind. Wang Zhong looked back and was immediately speechless. "Shindai, why are you here too?" He remembered that the first elder hadn't allowed Shindai to follow them on this trip. Shindai smiled and replied, "Why can't I leave the mountain?" "Then don't run around." Weili smiled and said, "Lil Dai, follow behind me later." Understood, Grand Elder. With Great Elder leading the team this time, Wang Zhong was not worried about anything. After going down the mountain, Wang Zhong realized how serious the disaster in the fishing village was. All the villagers they met along the way knelt down and kowtowed, begging them to find the bad guys. Weili was already very old. He was very old and had seen all kinds of storms and waves. Even so, after arriving at the fishing village, he still couldn't help but frown. Before he even entered the village, he could already smell the unique scent of blood on the puppet's corpse. Wang Zhong naturally smelled it as well. He had dealt with puppets before, and knew that the scent of blood on the puppet's body was very unique. "Grand Elder, with such a strong scent of blood, I'm afraid that the puppet sect has brought a very strong puppet." Wang Zhong reminded, "That's right. I've dealt with a puppet before. The puppet's individual strength wasn't strong, but its defense was very troublesome. It had to be cut into 8 pieces to deal with the puppet. So everyone listen up. When dealing with puppets, you must cut off their limbs." Yes, this fishing village wasn't big. There were only about 100 villagers. The people here relied on fishing in the nearby river for a living. Therefore, there were many small boats docked on the shore. Walking on the road, many villagers heard the news and opened their doors. Looking at these simple faces, Shindai, who always liked to joke, also became serious. "Too pitiful. Those bastards. If they have the ability, then come at me. Bullying some villagers without cultivation. What kind of ability is that? Aya, you guys are here." Suddenly, a white-bearded old man walked over with the help of someone. "This is our village chief, Uncle Nyo," said one of the youngsters who came to report. "Village Chief Nyo." Weili nodded his head. "I am the Grand Elder of Zhongshan faction, Weili." "Greetings, Elder Wei. It is like this. Earlier, my son and a few experts found something amiss in the forest up ahead. It sounds like crying." "Oh." Weili turned his head and shouted, "Let's go check it out." There were a total of 30+ people on this trip. This was a decent number. Thus, Whaley was not worried. As they walked, Whaley reminded them, "Everyone listen up. Although the puppets are hard to deal with, the ones controlling the puppets are even harder to deal with. If both the enemy and the puppets attack you at the same time, it will be very troublesome. So remember, deal with the enemy controlling the puppets first." The group quickly entered the forest. The moment they stepped in, Wang Zhong noticed that something was amiss. The scent of blood was very strong, and it filled the entire forest. "Someone must have lured us in," Wang Zhong said. "Tu, what did you find?" Whaley asked. Wang Zhong frowned. Although there was a scent of blood here, it was not very strong. This meant that there might have been puppets hiding here before. But they were gone now. Where did the puppets go? Just as he was thinking, suddenly, puppets appeared around him. There were more than 30 puppets in each direction. "Why are there so many of them suddenly?" a disciple exclaimed. Oh no, we are surrounded. Elder, we have been tricked." "That's not right. How did so many puppets suddenly appear?" Shindai asked. Wang Zhong sniffed the air again. It was a very faint scent of blood. If there were really so many puppets, this should not be the case. If so, this meant that, no, these are not puppets. They are illusions. We have entered an illusionary array. Wang Zhong, who was well versed in array formations, shouted immediately. Everything in front of them was not real. This was also why they could see but not smell. Whaley nodded his head. Yes, this is an illusion. Whaley looked at the people around him, with a complicated expression. At this time, the puppets in the illusion moved. Kill! The puppets let out an earth-shattering roar. This was obviously not an ordinary illusion. Everything in front of them was so real, that even their hearing was affected. If not for his sensitive nose, even Wang Zhong himself would have fallen into the illusion. Since it is an illusion, how do we deal with it? A disciple was completely at a loss when facing the puppets. This was also because it was the first time they had encountered such a situation. They were completely at a loss. Great Elder, what should we do? Shindai asked anxiously. Whaley looked at Shindai with a complicated expression and said with difficulty, "We can only fight head-on." "There is no need to fight head-on. Everyone listen up. This array seems real, but most of the attacks are illusions. However, there are some that are real. Everyone must learn to distinguish them." As soon as he finished speaking, Wang Zhong dodged the attack of a puppet and threw a punch. The puppet instantly turned into nothingness. Just like this one is fake. Wang Zhong continued to shout. "Kill all the way to the periphery of the array. That is the time to break this array." After hearing Wang Zhong's words, everyone was full of confidence. So it is that simple. As expected of Brother Atu, you are awesome. Kill. Great Elder, let's go. As soon as Wang Zhong rushed out, Whaley suddenly looked behind Wang Zhong and raised his hand to slap Wang Zhong. What's going on? Wang Zhong was about to deal with the puppets that were charging at him. Although everything in this illusion was fake, it was obviously filled with murderous intent. This was the most powerful array in the illusion, called the illusory killing array. The special thing about this array was that not only were the illusions real, but when the attacks came, the real attacks were also hidden inside. Therefore, it was impossible to guard against. Sometimes one could dodge many of the attacks, but when one was powerless, the real attacks would come. This was the terrifying part of this array. However, no matter how terrifying it was, Wang Zhong was not worried. He knew how to deal with this array, and that was to kill his way out. After dodging countless attacks, when he reached the periphery of the illusory killing array, the array would automatically break. However, he had never expected that the first elder, who held a high position and usually cared for his disciples, would suddenly make a move against him. Bang! With a muffled groan, Wang Zhong was sent flying. Puff! Wang Zhong had never expected such a sudden attack. As a result, he vomited blood as he was caught off guard. "Atu!" Shindai exclaimed. The next moment, Whaley also slashed at Shindai with his sword. Qila caught off guard. Shindai's long sword slashed at her back. Shindai was about to be split in half. But at this time, a white light shone from her body. With a clang, the white light was like a powerful protective shield, blocking the attack. This was the defensive array on Shindai. As the daughter of the sect master, Shen Wangquan naturally protected Shindai well. As the protective shield disappeared, the jade pendant on Shindai's body also disappeared. Wei seemed to have known that his attack was broken and did not care. He slashed at Shindai again. At the same time, Wei shouted, "Little Dai, Uncle Wei is sorry." When the jade pendant on her body disappeared, Shindai reacted. "Be careful." Wang Zhong saw this scene and shouted. Shindai gritted her teeth and rushed forward. Although she dodged immediately, her back was still slashed. She fell to the ground with blood splattering everywhere. "Great Elder, why did you?" a disciple questioned fiercely. But before he could say anything, a puppet in the illusory killing array behind him pierced his chest, making him unable to speak forever. "Great Elder? Why?" Seeing their respected Great Elder kill one of their own, the disciples could not believe it. Wei frowned, but soon his brows relaxed. "Don't blame me. Tsk. With a swing of his sword, the heads of the disciples closest to him immediately flew to the ground. "Why did you do this?" Wang Zhong still could not figure it out. He guessed. "Do you want to be the sect master?" "I don't care about that kind of position." "Then why?" "Uncle Wei." Shindai spat out blood and asked, "Why did you join forces with the puppet sect?" Chapter 458. In the Zhongshan sect. After sending off the first elder, Wang Zhong, and the others, Shen Wangquan immediately returned to his residence. What was surprising was that there was a female disciple who came in with him. No one could remember what this female disciple looked like, but she had followed Shen Wangquan, and just like that. "Husband," the female disciple said as soon as she entered the house, "did you see our daughter in the main hall? What did she look like? Is this girl interested in Atu?" "No way." Shen Wangquan found it strange. He had been thinking about the puppet sect in the main hall, and hadn't paid attention to his daughter. "No wonder our daughter doesn't want to be close to you." The woman sighed. Shen Wangquan said embarrassedly, "I was busy at the time." "Tell me more." "Our daughter looked at Atu differently." "Did she fall in love with him?" "No way." "How long has it been since Atu joined the sect?" "But he's outstanding." That's true." Shen Wangquan couldn't help but sigh with emotion. "Back then, it was because I was too outstanding that I was chosen by Madam. The charm of an outstanding person is really unstoppable. You old fart, can you not flatter yourself at a time like this?" The woman couldn't help but roll her eyes at Shen Wangquan. "Hee, I'm just joking. However, have you investigated the background of that Atu guy? You said he has the raging bull physique, but it seems different from what the ancient books say. Shouldn't people with the raging bull physique be dark-skinned and rough-looking? But Atu doesn't look like one." "He doesn't look like one, but he's not a demon. After all, demons have a demon aura." In fact, after discovering Wang Zhong's innate strength, Shen Wangquan had secretly investigated Wang Zhong's demon aura. In the end, he didn't find anything. The woman even pretended to be a female disciple, and once pretended to pass by Wang Zhong. She didn't find any demon aura. It was only then that they guessed that Wang Zhong had the raging bull physique. "Madam, at that time, you personally investigated it and didn't find any problems, right?" Shen Wangquan said. The woman nodded. "That may be the case, but it really doesn't seem like a bull's physique. Most importantly, don't forget that although it's difficult to conceal demonic aura, there are still exceptions. For example, didn't I use the fragrance of flowers to conceal my demonic aura? Atu doesn't have any smell on his body. All right, madam, don't think too much about it. Right now, the most important thing is to deal with those people from the puppet sect. Right now, all the disciples with some strength in the sect have been sent to the Zhou family and the foot of the mountain. There are no experts in the sect. In order to prevent any accidents, we have to guard this place well." The woman nodded. Suddenly, the woman turned into an inconspicuous little flower in the garden. The little flower said, "I'm going to replenish my nutrients and then I'll go out. Then I'll go out first and see where Xiao Dai went." "All right." Seeing Shen Wangquan leave, the little flower in the garden shook her body and made a crisp tinkling sound. No one knew that the legendary dead wife of the Zhongshan sect's leader, Shen Wangquan, was a flower demon. The reason why he spread the news of his wife's death was because he didn't want others to find out that his wife was a flower demon. Shen Wangquan hadn't patrolled the martial arts field for a long time. All the disciples he met bowed to him respectfully. Looking at the disciples diligently practicing martial arts, he seemed to see himself when he was young. At that time, he was just a very low-level outer disciple of the Zhongshan sect. His family was poor, and not only did he not have the money to buy cultivation materials, his talent was also very poor. According to the original growth pattern, he was already lucky to be able to become an inner disciple of the Zhongshan sect. However, once when he entered the Zhongshan forest, he accidentally saw a flower demon and an ape beast fighting. This flower demon was his current wife. At that time, the flower demon and the ape beast were both injured. After Shen Wangquan appeared, he pondered for a long time. In the end, he was defeated by the flower demon's beauty. He defeated the ape beast and brought the flower demon back to the sect. Fortunately, he didn't have any friends in the sect. In the end, under Shen Wanquan's care, the flower demon successfully recovered, and her strength improved a lot. After a period of time, the man and the flower also developed feelings for each other. Thus, Shundai was born. Because of this, with the help of the flower demon, Shen Wanquan's strength improved by leaps and bounds. In the end, he became the leader of the Zhongshan sect and led the sect. Sect leader. At this time, a female disciple ran over. The voice pulled Shen Wangquan back to reality. He turned around and saw that the female disciple looked very obedient and cute. She should be about the same age as his daughter. What's the matter? Shen Wangquan asked majestically. The female disciple smiled, revealing her white teeth. Shen Wangquan suddenly felt that something was wrong. Although the female disciple was smiling, the smile was a little fake. It was very fake, like a puppet. Looking carefully at her eyes, there was no spirit in them, and her hair was dry. This shouldn't happen to a young and cute girl. Thinking about it carefully, he didn't seem to have seen this female disciple before. You're not a disciple of my sect? Shen Wangquan asked seriously. He. The female disciple let out a creepy laugh. Shen Wanquan's heart was alarmed, and he immediately retreated. But it was too late. The female disciple's belly suddenly swelled. Explode. Everyone retreat. Shen Wangquan was extremely regretful. He was too careless. There had never been an enemy in the sect, but now a puppet of the puppet sect had sneaked in. There was a spy in the sect. Green light technique. As the female disciple's puppet exploded, Shen Wangquan immediately took out a defensive barrier. A wisp of green light enveloped Shen Wangquan and barely blocked the explosion. However, the disciples in the surrounding dozens of meters didn't have it so good. Basically, they were all killed or injured. The scene was tragic. What's going on? Sect leader. The disciples further away all ran over as soon as they noticed the change. Don't come over. Shen Wangquan anxiously shouted. A spy from the puppet sect has sneaked into the sect. Everyone check if you know him. Just as he finished speaking, a few disciples were suddenly attacked from the side. Ah, damn, who are you? A few disciples were killed in an instant. The remaining disciples who were familiar with him quickly gathered together. Those who know him, come over. Shen Wangquan shouted. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, the disciples ran over one by one. At this moment, the enemy was obvious. On the field, there were 8 expressionless puppets that looked like disciples and looked at Shen Wangquan and the others. No wonder there were so many unfamiliar faces today. So this is it. A disciple was regretful. I should have noticed earlier. I hate it. Looking at the corpses on the ground, countless disciples cried bitterly. Shen Wangquan scanned his surroundings. Almost all of the disciples here were not very strong. There were also a few elders, but they were all not very strong. Although the puppets were weak, he was afraid that they might have backup. As expected, a disciple covered in blood ran over. No. Sect leader, there is a group of people at the foot of the mountain. They are coming up. As soon as he finished speaking, a sickle split his head open without hesitation. Hee. as expected of the Zhongshan sect's leader. You can actually escape the power of my explosive puppets. Slowly retracting his sickle, a skinny man in a black robe was staring at Shen Wangquan gloomily. Behind him were a dozen black-robed men, and behind them was a group of puppets in heavy armor. Who are you? Shen Wangquan asked coldly. Sect leader of the puppet sect Zhang Kuei. Why did you attack my Zhongshan sect? Shen Wangquan asked coldly. Hee. I just reached an agreement with someone from your sect. Who is it? You don't need to know. In short, those people you sent down the mountain should have been killed by him by now. Although the other party did not say it explicitly, Shen Wangquan guessed it immediately. He gritted his teeth and said, Grand Elder, Wei Li. Although he didn't want to believe it, he thought about Wei Li's recent situation. Wei Li had arranged for several experts to go to the Zhou family. These puppet disciples shouldn't have been able to enter so easily, unless they were arranged by a highly respected person in the sect. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been noticed. He really couldn't understand why Grand Elder Wei Li would betray the sect. One had to know that if this news were to spread, everyone would curse Wei Li. He Shen Wangquan, hand over the demonic flower. Zhang Kuei suddenly said. Shen Wangquan raised his eyebrows. So you're after the flower? Ha! What else do you think it is? That person discovered it by accident. You actually have a demonic flower here. Once we get that demonic flower and refine it, our strength will definitely increase by another level. Of course, we also want everything else in your sect. That depends on whether you have the ability to do so. Shen Wanquan's expression was calm. He had always been hiding his wife, so he had never let anyone enter his residence. This was because he knew that his wife was a flower. But more importantly, she was a precious medicinal herb among flowers. A medicinal herb like this that could be cultivated into a flower demon was a great tonic for cultivators. It was even more precious than a demon pill. If other demons found out about it, they would probably hunt down and kill his wife. However, he didn't expect that after hiding it for so long, it was still discovered. However, from the tone of these people, it was obvious that they didn't know that the demonic flower was his wife. They only thought that he had the demonic flower and was preparing to use it for cultivation. Stubborn. Kill. As expected of the puppet sect's leader, he didn't waste time talking nonsense. With a wave of his hand, more than 10 puppet masters behind him formed a seal in unison. The expressionless puppets behind him suddenly had their eyes lit up. Then, each of them spat out a mouthful of black gas and charged toward the crowd. Chapter 459. Among these puppets, there were 2 large puppets that were particularly eye-catching. The 2 large puppets were both 2.5 meters tall. They wore silver armor and wielded large blades with both hands. The muscles on their faces were completely black, but the blackness shone with a metallic glow. These 2 large puppets were the strongest existences among puppets, metal-armored corpses. Although there were many types of puppets, they were generally divided into ranks. Regular puppets were called little puppets, followed by bronze-armored corpses, iron-armored corpses, silver-armored corpses, and metal-armored corpses. Even though the puppet sect specialized in refining puppets, the entire sect actually only had 2 metal-armored corpses. As for the powerful puppet they encountered in the forest last time, it was a silver-armored corpse. For the sake of attacking this place, the puppet sect had sent out their only 2 metal-armored corpses all of a sudden. It was obvious how much importance they placed on this. Shen Wangquan clearly recognized the metal-armored corpses, as well as how many silver-armored corpses there were. There were a total of around a dozen silver-armored corpses, while the rest were iron-armored corpses. Although the iron-armored corpses were nothing special, there were not a lot of powerful disciples in the square. Most of the pillars of support had been sent out by the Grand Elder, Wei Li. Most of the remaining disciples were useless. As a result, even the iron-armored corpses were extremely likely to slaughter their way in here. The situation was very bad. It was also at this moment that a fragrance suddenly wafted over. Spurt. A disciple with decent strength chopped off the arm of an iron-armored corpse and called out, "There's a fragrance. Sect Master, could it be poison?" Shen Wanquan's expression changed. He sighed. Don't be afraid, everyone. This is my demon pet, the demon flower. In some sense, the humans and demons of this world were a little estranged. They did not really trust each other. As a result, Shen Wangquan only said that to dispel the disciples' doubts. So the sect master even has a demon flower. It must be very powerful. We're saved. These people must have come for the demon flower. Damn it, they're actually eyeing our sect's heavenly resources. For a moment, all the disciples were filled with righteous indignation. The fragrance immediately filled the entire square. After smelling it, the disciples suddenly discovered that their strength had increased by quite a lot. Little Hua, sorry for troubling you. Shen Wangquan raised his head and called out. A woman slowly walked down from the sky. Seeing this scene, Zhang Kuei sneered. Demonic flower. Your target is me. There's no need to make things difficult for the disciples of the sect, the woman said coldly. Now it's not just you. I want everything in the sect. While the two of them were talking, the disciples below were already engaged in battle with the puppets. After Zhang Kuei finished speaking, he charged straight at Shen Wangquan. As expected of the leader of the puppet sect, not only were his puppets powerful, but he had also reached the divine transformation realm. Shen Wangquan was also in the soul formation realm. However, before he could attack, Shen Wanquan's wife, Xiao Hua, arrived in front of Zhang Kuei. I'm your opponent. Countless petals flew toward Zhang Kuei. Zhang Kuei did not take Xiao Hua seriously at first. In his view, Little Blossom was Shen Wanquan's demon pet. Shen Wanquan's strength was about the same as his. Then as a demon pet, Little Blossom's strength should be even lower. However, Zhang Kuei soon realized that something was amiss. The petals didn't seem threatening, but they were like blades, tearing at his muscles. Chi chi chi. In the blink of an eye, Zhang Kuei's skin and flesh were torn open. He was an expert in the soul formation realm, but he was beaten to such a state so easily. One could imagine how powerful Little Blossom was. You're not in the soul formation realm. You're in the void refinement realm. To be able to hurt him so easily, it was obvious that Little Blossom was in the void refinement realm. However, in the blink of an eye, Zhang Kuei frowned. No, the power of the void refinement realm no longer turns into a physical form. It's illusory. You should be in the pseudo-void refinement realm. Regardless of whether Little Blossom was in the void refinement realm or not, Zhang Kuei realized how powerful she was. However, he wasn't worried about anything. He smiled and said, if I were to fight you alone, I might really be afraid of you. Unfortunately, I have the Metal Elite Zombie. Below, a Metal Elite Zombie was fighting Shen Wangquan. Although Shen Wangquan was not at a disadvantage, he didn't have the upper hand either. The Metal Elite Zombie's defense was too strong. Even swords and sabers could hardly hurt it. The other Metal Elite Zombie seemed to have been summoned by Zhang Kuei. It raised its head and rushed toward Little Blossom. A human and a zombie fighting Little Blossom at the same time. Even though Little Blossom had entered the pseudo-void refinement realm, she was still somewhat powerless. Today, we will flatten the Zhongshan sect. Ha ha ha. The more Zhang Kuei fought, the more he got used to it. Although Little Blossom was a demon, flower demons belonged to the weakest plant-type demons. They were innately weak. Therefore, after a few rounds, she could only barely hold on. Although she and Shen Wangquan were holding on, the disciples and elders were also somewhat powerless. Almost all of the powerful disciples on the periphery were injured. They gritted their teeth and held on. Originally, the Zhongshan sect actually had a lot of trump cards. For example, there were several layers of defensive formations. It would be very difficult for outsiders to break in. However, the bad thing was that there was a traitor in the sect. Moreover, the traitor was the Grand Elder, who held a high position in the sect. Grand Elder Wei Li had secretly removed the formations long ago. He even sent out a group of powerful disciples. The sect was indeed at its weakest now. Break out of the encirclement and retreat. Seeing that the disciples had suffered heavy casualties, Shen Wanquan's heart was bleeding. There's no chance. We have already set up a killing formation in the periphery. It's useless to try to break out. Zhang Kuei smiled. Now that he was watching his Metal Elite Zombie fight with Little Blossom, he could take the opportunity to launch a sneak attack. As he spoke, he looked greedily at the disciples of the Zhongshan sect below. These people were all cultivators with decent talent. They were all excellent tools for refining puppets. Although the sect had exhausted all their puppets in this battle, all the losses would be recouped once these disciples were refined into puppets. While the battle was going on, Wang Zhong slowly stood up facing the arrogant Wei Li. You are indeed strong. You can still stand up after being beaten to such a state, Wei Li said solemnly. Can you tell me why you are doing this? Wang Zhong asked calmly. Ha ha ha, there's no harm in telling. I want that demonic flower. Little Dai, you should know. What? Shundai stared blankly. As the daughter of Little Blossom and Shen Wangquan, Shundai knew who the demonic flower was. That was her mother. So that's how it is. Wang Zhong nodded slightly. He wasn't surprised because he already knew. As early as the first time he entered Shen Wanquan's residence, he noticed that there was something wrong with the flowers in the garden. There was a demonic aura on them. The demonic aura was well concealed and covered by the fragrance of the flowers. This indicated that the strength of the flower spirit had reached a very high level. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been so easy to conceal the demonic aura. Why do you want that flower? Shundai couldn't help but ask. No reason. Who doesn't like natural treasures? If I can get that flower and refine it into a pill, my strength will definitely improve. Just for that, Wang Zhong said coldly. Of course. I have been stuck in the divine transformation realm for too long. I need natural treasures to break through to the return to void realm. As long as I can break through, everything will be worth it. Unfortunately, I won't have the chance. As he spoke, Wang Zhong slowly straightened his body. You are indeed powerful. You are actually fine after suffering such injuries. Wei Li was extremely surprised. But soon he shook his head and said, Unfortunately, it's useless. No matter how powerful you are only slightly more talented. In front of a divine transformation realm expert like me, you are nothing. Is that so? Then you are really confident in yourself. Have you forgotten how I tore those puppets apart? As he spoke, something seemed to be moving under Wang Zhong's trousers. That only means that your physical body is strong. Although the physique of a bull is difficult to deal with, it is still not enough in the face of absolute strength. Although Wei Li said so, he soon realized that something was wrong. A tail suddenly stretched out from under Wang Zhong's clothes in front of him. Wang Zhong stared at Wei Li. At this moment, he was also very helpless. He had always wanted to hide his identity, but now he had to expose it. In order to deal with Wei Li, he couldn't use his absolute strength as a human. He could only reveal his demonic body. There was no other way. Seeing Wang Zhong's tail, Wei Li was stunned. No wonder your physical strength is so strong. It turns out that you are a fox demon. Yes, Wang Zhong responded. Okay, I will kill you and take your demonic pill. It will be just a matter of time before I enter the void realm. If you have the ability, take my demonic pill first. Wang Zhong, who had restored his demonic body, felt that there was endless power in his body. He stamped his feet, and the power of the tyrant dragon physique broke out of his body. With the support of this power, Wang Zhong's speed was obviously increased. In the blink of an eye, he rushed in front of Wei Li. He stretched out his claws and slashed at Wei Li. Wei Li didn't expect this fox demon to be so strong. In addition, he felt that Wang Zhong not only had the power of a fox demon, but also an indescribable power. This power was even more overbearing. He seemed to be suppressed by his bloodline. What's going on? He didn't understand. He felt that the spiritual power in his body was much slower under the suppression of this power. The absolute power of the tyrant dragon physique bombarded Wei Li's chest. Wei Li stood in place and looked at Wang Zhong in shock. His body kept twitching. So strong. After a long while, Wei Li murmured. He knew that his chest had been hit in the attack just now. At this moment, even if he didn't die, he would become a disabled person. Too. Seeing that Wang Zhong was so strong, Shundai was stunned. Thump thump, thump. Wei Li retreated. Blood spurted out from his throat. He was regretting it now. All these years, he was worried that his cultivation couldn't advance. Once, he wanted to find Shen Wangquan to discuss it. He didn't expect to find the demonic flower in Shen Wanquan's garden. At that time he was very excited. According to the ancient records, the demonic flower was a rare heavenly treasure when cultivated to the extreme. When refined into a demonic pill, it would be a peerless demonic pill. Therefore he wanted to obtain it. However, he knew that the sect master wouldn't give it to him. By chance he met the puppet sect master, and this scene happened. The attack on Wang Zhong and the others in the forest was actually just the beginning of the plan. However, they didn't expect that Wang Zhong would appear halfway and cause the puppet sect to lose 3 generals. Chapter 460. Wei Li fell. He wasn't killed by Wang Zhong, but he knew that he couldn't escape, so he broke his own meridians and committed suicide. Before he died, he told Wang Zhong his plan and asked him to go back and save them. In the end, Wei Li still had feelings for the sect. Since his plan couldn't succeed, he asked Wang Zhong to save them. As for himself, he didn't have the face to face anyone. The surrounding disciples suffered heavy casualties, but there were still many survivors. They all looked at Wang Zhong in surprise. Atu. Shindai looked at Wang Zhong and didn't know what to say. After thinking, she waved her hand, and a red mist wrapped around them. Shindai, what are you? Atu, people can't see us like this. Shindai blinked her big eyes and suddenly smiled. I didn't expect you to be a demon fox. Yes. Now you know why I didn't accept you even if you chased me? Wang Zhong said lightly. What did you say? I chased you? Shindai was so angry that her chest hurt. Maybe because she was too angry, the wound on Shindai's back hurt again. But at this time, Shindai also suddenly changed. A small flower actually grew out of her head. You. Wang Zhong was shocked. Why did a flower grow on Shindai's head? Shindai, you. At the same time, Wang Zhong also noticed a demon aura on Shindai's body. Shindai was also a demon. Thinking about it carefully, every time he saw Shindai, there was a strong fragrance on her body. So every time he came, he didn't need to turn around to know who was behind him. Now it seemed that Shindai deliberately covered up the smell on her body. Shindai said helplessly, the flower demon Wei Li talked about is actually my mother. So strictly speaking, I'm half human and half demon. Okay. Wang Zhong expressed his astonishment. Can you still walk now? I can hold on for a while. You rest here. I'll go back to the sect and take a look. Wei Li told him about the puppet sect's plan before he died. At this time the sect might be in a mess. He had to hurry back and take a look. Well, thank you, Atu. Shindai suddenly leaned over and kissed Wang Zhong's face. Wang Zhong's fox mouth twitched. You don't despise me for being a fox? As long as you don't despise me for being a morning glory. Forgive you for being a little morning glory. Let's not talk about this anymore. Let's hurry back to the sect. Otherwise, who knows what will happen to my parents? Shindai was also worried for the sect's disciples. Wang Zhong nodded and was about to leave when Shindai suddenly pulled him back. You're leaving just like that. The villagers outside are all watching. That's true. Although he didn't have any ill intentions, it wouldn't be good for him to be seen if he went out like this. Thus, he returned to his human form. All of a sudden Shindai exclaimed, Aren't you ashamed? Wang Zhong looked at himself. Because he had returned to his human form, he was not wearing anything. It's not like you haven't seen it before. Why are you making a fuss? Wang Zhong was speechless. Last time, Shindai said that he was a little bamboo pole. Shindai said embarrassedly, You're so close this time. I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm going. After putting on his clothes, Wang Zhong rushed out. At the same time, he shouted to the other disciples. The formation has been broken. Disciples, protect yourselves. I'm going back to the sect to help. Seeing Wang Zhong leave, some disciples were surprised. That, Brother Atu, is he a fox demon? I think so. But why is there no demon aura? Because Brother Atu is half human and half demon. Strictly speaking, he is a human, but he has the blood of a demon fox. Shindai walked out of the red mist and said, Sister Shun. Hello, sister. Are you okay, sister? The disciples greeted her. I'm fine. As for Brother Atu, I hope you all remember that he is our savior. As for the half-human, half-demon thing, I hope you all don't mention it. Of course. That's reasonable. Overall, the Zhongshan sect's reputation was not bad. Everyone nodded in agreement. At the entrance of the Zhongshan sect, Wang Zhong frowned as he looked at the Zhongshan sect's disciples along the way. Along the way he saw several corpses. All of them belonged to the sect's disciples. He remembered a few of them, but they had all turned into cold corpses by now. Continuous sounds of explosions came from the sky. Wang Zhong knew that someone was fighting. Wang Zhong quickened his pace and saw Xiao Hua and Shen Wangquan working together to resist the metal elite zombie. Let me. Looking at the countless corpses of the sect's disciples below, Wang Zhong rushed towards the metal elite zombie. In terms of physical strength, his Tyrannosaurus constitution had never been afraid of anyone. Previously, when he was dealing with the silver elite zombie, he could easily tear it to shreds. Now that he was dealing with the metal elite zombie, he only needed to use a little more strength. Atu. Seeing the newcomer, Shen Wangquan hurriedly warned, "Don't come over. This is the metal elite zombie." Although the barbarian bull constitution was strong, the metal elite zombie was a puppet that was dozens of times stronger than the silver elite zombie. Even with his strength in the divine transformation realm, it was already difficult for him to deal with it. Wasn't Wang Zhong courting death? Something's not right. In the sky, Xiaohua noticed Wang Zhong's tail and said, "He's actually a fox demon." What? Shen Wanquan's body trembled. How can a fox demon's body be so strong? The power he's using is indeed not the power of a fox demon, but... As Xiaohua spoke, she seemed to feel a dragon's roar coming from the depths of her soul. The bloodline of the dragon. Xiaohua's expression changed greatly. This guy, he actually... Xiaohua trembled. It was the first time in many years that she trembled. Rip. At this moment, Wang Zhong and the two metal elite zombies started fighting. There were no flashy moves or brilliant techniques. There was only fist against fist, a head-on battle. What a strong physical body. Zhang Kuei's expression changed. He was well aware of the defensive strength of the metal elite zombies. But this young man with a fox's tail was actually evenly matched with his metal elite zombies. How was this possible? But the truth was right in front of him. This also showed that Wang Zhong's physical strength was comparable to the metal elite zombies. Didn't that old guy Wei Li say that this kid has the barbarian bull constitution? How can he be so strong? It seems that Wei Li didn't figure it out himself. Since this kid is here, it means that old guy Wei Li is most likely dead. Suddenly, Zhang Kuei recalled a secret zinc of the puppet sect that he had read about in the ancient books of his sect. In terms of strength, the puppet sect was 30% stronger than the other sects of the same level as them. This was because a cultivator would often have several puppets that could fight together. The metal elite zombies and the silver elite zombies were existences that were comparable to ordinary sect elders, or even stronger. This was because one didn't have to worry about the puppets being afraid of pain, injury, or betrayal. At that time, their puppet sect could call for wind and rain on the continent, and their reputation was unparalleled for a time. But then, the greatest enemy of the puppet sect appeared. An expert with a physical body even stronger than the metal elite zombies. No one knew where this expert came from. They only knew that this person had an incomparably strong physical body. He could tear apart the metal elite zombies with his bare hands. The metal elite zombies with powerful defensive strength were like paper in front of this person. In the end, the puppet sect either died or fled. From being a super large sect, they became a small sect that hid in the dark. After some investigation, the puppet sect found out that this person was from the dragon race. The dragon race didn't belong to the monster race, nor did they belong to the human race. They were another branch of this world. The defensive strength of a dragon's body was incomparably strong. However, this defensive strength was only limited to physical attacks. If one used spiritual energy techniques, there would be a gap in realms. The bad thing was that the puppet sect mostly relied on puppets, so after a while, the dragon race became their nemesis. At this moment, after seeing the terrifying defensive strength of Wang Zhong's physical body, Zhang Kuei was almost certain that even if this person wasn't from the dragon race, he was at least half human and half dragon. Bang! One of the metal elite zombies clearly couldn't hold on any longer. Many parts of its chest caved in from Wang Zhong's attacks. Its muscles were already torn apart. Its right leg was broken, leaving only its left leg to support its body. Violent energy engulfed the entire square. After Wang Zhong dealt with the two troublesome metal elite zombies at the same time, Shen Wangquan and his wife became much more relaxed. They began to deal with the other silver elite zombies with the other disciples. Junior brother Atu is so strong. I didn't expect him to be from the monster race. Some of the more powerful disciples couldn't help but sigh. Don't talk nonsense. He's half human and half demon. He's also considered a human, Shen Wangquan reminded. Although Wang Zhong's identity had been exposed, being half human and half demon was much better than being from the monster race. Some of the disciples understood tacitly and didn't say anything. Now that the great battle was before them, regardless of whether Wang Zhong was a human or a monster, it was fine as long as he helped them. Finally, one of the metal elite zombies had its legs broken. It couldn't hold on any longer and directly knelt on the ground, unable to move. The remaining metal elite zombie was even less of a match. Wang Zhong took a step forward. The energy of Tyrannosaurus body spread throughout his body. He punched the metal elite zombie. At this moment, Wang Zhong felt very refreshed. He didn't need to use spiritual energy to fight. He only relied on the absolute physical strength of Tyrannosaurus body to fight to his heart's content. Vaguely, he felt that the strength of his physical body was getting stronger and stronger. It felt as though he was making a breakthrough. His physical body had made a breakthrough in the middle of the battle. Unfortunately, he didn't know what realm it was exactly, because he knew very little about Tyrannosaurus body. Bang! The last metal elite zombie was blown apart. At the same time, Zhang Kuei rushed forward with bloodshot eyes. In his opinion, Wang Zhong had been fighting for so long that he should be like a lamp that has run out of oil. I'll kill you and refine you into a metal elite zombie. With your physical body, you'll be the strongest metal elite zombie I've ever seen. Zhang Kuei laughed sinisterly. He had brought out all the puppets of the sect to deal with the Zhongshan sect. If he retreated, it would be equivalent to losing the battle. The strength of the sect would be greatly reduced. Therefore, he wouldn't be easily defeated. Wang Zhong was gasping for breath. He had indeed consumed a lot of energy. However, he had only consumed his physical body. He hadn't used much of his spiritual energy. Just as Wang Zhong was about to attack, Xiaohua suddenly came over. She said to Wang Zhong, "You've consumed too much energy. Let me do it." All right. Wang Zhong didn't stand on ceremony. He retreated and focused on dealing with the remaining puppets. The battle ended in a short while. The people of the puppet sect had never expected that Wang Zhong would appear out of nowhere. In the end, Zhang Kuei tried to escape, but he was easily captured by Xiaohua. In the end he died. The battle was over. On the training field, every disciple revealed a smile of relief after surviving a calamity. It was just that too many of their fellow disciples had died in this battle. After that, Wang Zhong went down the mountain to pick up Shen Dai and the others. The rest of the disciples cleaned up the battlefield. The battle quickly attracted the attention of the outside world. The sects that were on good terms with the Zhongshan sect immediately sent people to help. The next day, Wang Zhong brought his people and rushed to the Zhou family. The situation was very clear. The Zhou family was facing the joint attack of the puppet sect and the Fong family. Now that they had fought the puppet sect to this extent, they had to rescue the Zhou family as soon as possible. They didn't expect that the battle would already be over. It turned out that the remaining members of the puppet sect had retreated as soon as they knew that their sect master and elders had died in the Zhongshan sect. Before they left, they even took away a lot of the Fong family's treasures. The Fong family was so angry that they started cursing. The heavily injured Fong family was no match for the Zhou family, who had allied with the Zhongshan sect, so they directly surrendered. Not only did they return the mine that originally belonged to the Zhou family, but they also lost the other two mines. It could be said that they had suffered a double loss. So the battle is over. After entering the city and hearing the report from the Zhongshan sect's disciples, Wang Zhong let out a sigh of relief. Yes, we came here to fight evenly with them. Now that the remaining members of the puppet sect have escaped, how can the Fong family be our match? Chen Di, who had arrived first, said with a smile. Wang Zhong nodded, and then told them about what had happened in the sect. After hearing this, Chen Di and the others looked serious. Those bastards from the puppet sect. They actually killed so many people. Chen Di said with red eyes. Wang Zhong was about to speak when Zhou Yunqiu ran over from the crowd crying, Yunqiu, what's wrong? Wang Zhong frowned. Zhou Yunqiu cried and said, my sister is dying. Zhou Yunqiu was leaving. Chapter 461. My sister is about to die. Zhou Yunqiu grabbed Wang Zhong and said in a trembling voice, what senior sister Zhou? The disciples behind Wang Zhong were in disbelief. Zhou Yunqiu was about to die? After hearing the news, Wang Zhong was also dumbfounded. In his impression, Zhou Yunqiu was not the strongest among the disciples, but she was the woman with the formation. She was actually about to die. What exactly is going on? Wang Zhong asked. Zhou Yunqiu cried and said, my sister is too pitiful. She went to the battlefield to kill the enemy, but unexpectedly, she was ambushed. Brother Atu, my sister and you are the best. Please see her one last time. Where is she? Follow me. Zhou Yunqiu cried as she walked. Seeing this, the other disciples did not follow, and could only go to her to express their condolences. Yunqiu, if you need any help let me know. Chen Di patted Zhou Yunqiu's shoulder and finally sighed. He said to Wang Zhong, Atu, I can see that Yunqiu has special feelings for you. In the last moments of her life, I hope you can treat her well. I understand. Wang Zhong's heart was also very heavy. As he walked, he thought about the bits and pieces of the past with Zhou Yunqiu. My sister was already seriously injured in the battle a few days ago. Just the day before yesterday, our Zhou family sent out a large number of people. Unexpectedly, those people turned around and suddenly attacked our Zhou family. My sister tried her best to resist, but she was still no match. In the end, she suffered internal injuries. If my father and the elders of our Zhou family did not return in time to rescue her, I'm afraid she would not have seen her for the last time. Wang Zhong's expression was very solemn. He said, is there no other way? My father invited the elixir master, Mr. Yang, but he was also helpless. As they spoke, Zhou Yunqiu had already arrived at the backyard of the Zhou family. After entering, she made many turns and arrived at a unique and elegant courtyard. This is where my sister lives. Zhou Yunqiu pointed at the door in front of her. Suddenly, there was a violent cough from inside. Sister. Zhou Yunqiu knocked on the door. Ahem. Yunqiu. Junior brother Tu and I are here to see you. There's no need to look anymore. You guys can leave. Zhou Yunqiu's weak voice sounded. Zhou Yunqiu said to Wang Zhong, my sister knows that she doesn't have much time left, so she doesn't want to see anyone. You can go in. Wang Zhong pushed the door open and walked in. There was a faint fragrance in the room. The furnishings were very simple. There was a table and a few chairs. On the side there was a side room. Red cloud. Wang Zhong walked in and sighed inwardly. Looking at Zhou Yunqiu on the bed, he was reminded of the lively eldest senior sister of the past. But now she didn't have long to live. If there's nothing, why did you come to see me? Zhou Yunqiu murmured. Wang Zhong came to the bed. Zhou Yunqiu's face was pale and bloodless. When she saw Wang Zhong coming over, she slowly turned her head away. What are you doing here? How's your injury? I can't. Don't worry about me. Zhou Yunqiu murmured. I'll inform the sect leader immediately. The sect should have a way to save you. Wang Zhong said. It's useless. Those alchemy grandmasters can no longer heal my injuries. Even if they are cured, I'm a cripple. Cripple, do you know that? Zhou Yunqiu bitterly smiled. Atu, from now on, you and Xiao die. Yunqiu. Wang Zhong didn't know what to say. He used his spiritual energy to check Zhou Yunqiu's body. There was no spiritual energy at all. Yunqiu, I'll tell you the truth. Actually, I'm a fox demon. Wang Zhong's tail came out from under his trousers. It was furry and looked very beautiful. Zhou Yunqiu's eyes widened. You're a fox demon. Yes. Cough, cough, cough. Zhou Yunxia looked at Wang Zhong with a complicated expression. She looked weaker and weaker. It seemed that Zhou Yunxia was going to leave soon. Wang Zhong felt extremely uncomfortable in his heart. Will you remember me in the future? Zhou Yunxia said softly. Wang Zhong was about to speak when he frowned. Something was wrong. Although Zhou Yunxia's spiritual energy was very weak, her vitality was still very strong. Others might not be able to see it, but he was very sensitive to it because he had tyrant dragon form. So it was easy for him to see it. According to Zhou Yunxia's vitality, she shouldn't have any problems. Could it be a lie? Wang Zhong thought carefully. The more he thought about it, the more likely it was. When Zhou Yunxia was dying, where were her parents? There was no one else at home, so they asked her brother to come to him? The siblings couldn't be lying to him, right? Atu, I'm leaving now. I know you won't remember me in the future. It doesn't matter. I just want to know, did you like me before? Wang Zhong checked Zhou Yunxia's body again. After confirming that Zhou Yunxia was fine, he said seriously, Actually, I know medicine. I'll see if I can cure you. Don't worry. It's useless. Zhou Yunxia was about to stop him, but she didn't expect Wang Zhong's hand to go deep into Zhou Yunxia's quilt. Oh, what are you doing? Zhou Yunxia became nervous. I'm checking your injury. Wang Zhong looked serious. I heard from your brother that your injury is on your chest, right? Don't be nervous. I'm just touching it to check your injury. Don't worry, I won't take advantage of you. Seeing Zhou Yunxia's nervous appearance, Wang Zhong laughed in his heart. He was almost certain that Zhou Yunxia was lying. Hey, my injury suddenly healed. In order to stop Wang Zhong from touching her, Zhou Yunxia quickly said. However, it was too late. Wang Zhong's hand had already touched the most itchy part of her body, her waist. Haha, don't touch it. It's so itchy. Zhou Yunxia laughed. Wang Zhong laughed and said, Well, you're lying to me with your brother? You're still taking advantage of me. Zhou Yunxia snorted and looked at Wang Zhong's tail. She touched it directly and said in surprise, It's so soft. Don't touch it. Wang Zhong swung his tail a few times. I'm just looking. I said that I saw your tail that day in Zhongshan Forest. You actually lied to me. Wang Zhong said. After all, we weren't close at that time. Are we close now? Zhou Yunxia's eyes widened as she stared at Wang Zhong. The two of them looked at each other. Zhou Yunxia was already like this. If Wang Zhong didn't want anything to happen, he wouldn't be a fox. So he put his hand on Zhou Yunxia's waist and said, You just asked me to kiss you? Did I? Zhou Yunxia was a little confused. She didn't seem to have said that. But in the next moment, Wang Zhong had already kissed her. After a long time. Tell me, why did you lie to me? Wang Zhong asked. I was actually really injured, but I recovered later. When my brother came to see me, he told me about you and Xiaodai. Zhou Yunxia explained in a fit of pique. Wang Zhong knew that all of this was Zhou Yunxia's idea. Zhou Yunxia was worried that his sister would be taken advantage of. So she came up with this idea. She asked him to come over and confirm their relationship. Then, she said that she found a miracle medicine to cure Zhou Yunxia's injury. At that time, he couldn't go back on his words even if he wanted to. It was simply a good plan. This guy has quite a lot of ideas. Wang Zhong couldn't help but say. Speaking of which, I'm a little embarrassed. Zhou Yunxia said embarrassedly. Wang Zhong smiled. Originally, he didn't want to confirm any relationship, but after knowing that Zhou Yunxia was going to die, his heart became nervous and even tightened. So now, he had thought it through very clearly. There was no need to hide anything anymore. He should cherish the person in front of him. Looking at the person in his arms, Wang Zhong said, What's there to be embarrassed about? Come, let me check if you have any injuries on your body. Aya, what are you doing? My brother is outside. Your brother left. I can feel it. After waking up, Zhou Yunxia listened to Wang Zhong tell her what happened in the sect. She was extremely surprised. I didn't expect the great elder to be a spy. No one expected it. The sect is very chaotic now. Let's go over in a few days. Okay. Zhou Yunxia laid on Wang Zhong's chest at ease and said, You have to be responsible for me in the future. Of course, but I don't want our relationship to be revealed for the time being. Why? After all, I'm from the demon clan. I'm worried that you will be discriminated against. I'll come back to marry you when I cultivate to the highest level. Zhou Yunxia was obviously a little unhappy. Although she nodded, it was obvious that she was a little unhappy. 3 days later, Wang Zhong, Zhou Yunxia, and many other disciples left and returned to the Zhongshan sect. After some repairs, the Zhongshan sect held a grand funeral to mourn the disciples and elders who had died. After that, after discussing with Wang Zhong, Shen Wangquan announced that Atu would be the next young sect master of the Zhongshan sect. When the news came out, the surrounding sects were extremely surprised. After all, Shen Wangquan was still young. There was only one possibility for him to announce the young sect master at such a young age, and that was that he recognized Atu's talent. After asking around, everyone also knew that Wang Zhong was half human and half demon. There were still many half-human and half-demon people in this world. However, generally speaking, half-human and half-demon people were not very talented. They would even be discriminated against. However, it was different with talent. With talent, even if you were a transvestite, you would be valued. Sect Master, this matter is over. I'm going out for a while. In the courtyard where Shen Wangquan lived, Wang Zhong took the young sect master's token from Shen Wanquan's hand and said, "You're going out?" Shen Wangquan did not expect Wang Zhong to suddenly say this. He glanced at Xiao Hua, who was beside him. "Yes, I'm going back to where I used to live. After that, I might go to the demon clan." Wang Zhong sighed. "When I was born, my fox mother went missing. I really want to know the reason behind this. Atu, I understand your thoughts, but there is something I must remind you of." Flowery walked over and said solemnly, "During that battle, I saw that you have the bloodline of a dragon in your body. Although this bloodline is powerful, it is also very likely to bring you a fatal disaster. Remember, do not reveal your bloodline identity outside." "I understand. When will you be back?" Shen Wangquan asked reluctantly. To be honest, I'm not sure. I only know that my mother might be from the Nine-Tailed Fox clan. When the time comes, I'll find a way to go there and try my luck. Unfortunately, I'm just an ordinary demonic flower. I'm not valued by the demon clan. I can't help you with anything." Xiao Hua sighed. "Don't worry, mistress. I'm not going to go against anyone. I'm just going to secretly investigate. You must be careful. The door of the Zhongshan sect will always be open for you." Shen Wangquan said. He looked at Shen Dai at the door and sighed. "You're right to leave. Tell Xiao Dai so that she won't throw a tantrum at us." Wang Zhong walked out, and was surprised to see that Shen Dai's eyes were red. She seemed to have the urge to cry. This child is actually going to cry. Wang Zhong couldn't bear it. "You're leaving?" Sure enough, Shen Dai heard it at the door. Wang Zhong nodded slightly. "Yes, I need to find my mother." "Oh." Shen Dai unexpectedly didn't throw a tantrum. "Remember to come back." Wang Zhong was a little helpless. He already had senior sister Zhou Yunxia. Why was Shen Dai like this too? After comforting her, the two of them walked back. After walking for a long time, Wang Zhong didn't say anything about him, and Zhou Yunxia in the end. The main thing was that he was about to leave. He didn't want to cause any trouble before he left. After returning to his residence, Wang Zhong immediately packed up. The salted fish and barbecued meat that he had dried outside the door were all put into the space ring. He had already told Zhou Yunxia to help him pack up the blankets and other things. Looking at this small but very warm house, Wang Zhong was really reluctant to leave. But there was no other way. Now that his strength was almost enough, he could go out. At this time, two beautiful figures outside the door attracted Wang Zhong's attention. Why are Zhou Yunxia and Shen Dai here? Seeing the two women's ugly expressions, Wang Zhong's heart thumped. Chapter 462. Of the two women, Zhou Yunxia was calm and introverted. She looked cold on the outside, but she was passionate on the inside. Shen Dai was like a child, but she was very obedient when faced with a problem. To be honest, Wang Zhong liked both of them, but he didn't want them to come together. "Junior Dai, what are you doing here?" Zhou Yunxia glanced at Shindai, who was a head shorter than her, and asked calmly. Elder Weili betrayed us, and I was almost killed. Junior brother Atu saved me. He's going on a long trip now, so I came to see him. Shindai also asked, Senior sister, what are you doing here? Zhou Yunxia replied, I was attacked by thieves on my way home, and was seriously injured. Junior brother Atu ignored the danger, and came to see me. He's leaving, so I came to see him. The two women looked at each other calmly, as if they could read each other's mind. Shindai said, Senior sister, since you're injured, you should stay at home. Leave the matter of saying goodbye to junior brother Atu to me. My injuries are much better under junior brother Atu's meticulous care. Zhou Yunxia intentionally emphasized the word meticulous. Sure enough, when Shindai heard this, she felt even more upset. She said, How is he so meticulous? Shindai was still young, so she easily fell into Zhou Yunxia's trap. Zhou Yunxia deliberately said, He was on my bed. Sai, forget it. You're still young, so it's better if you don't know about some adult matters. Zhou Yunxia's words were a little smug, which made Shindai even more uncomfortable. Why are you being so secretive? What's going on? Oh, it's just that, Shindai was speechless. Cough, cough, cough. You're here. In order to prevent the two from talking too much, Wang Zhong immediately walked out. Junior brother Tuesday Shindai walked over suspiciously, although she had long noticed that there was something going on between Atu and Zhou Yunxia. She didn't expect that their relationship had become so good. It made her feel very uncomfortable. However, she wasn't someone who was easily convinced. She purposely said in a very intimate manner, Atu shitty, I know that you went on a long journey, so I specially showed you a pair of shoes. A brand new pair of shoes was handed over. They were indeed very nice. Senior sister Xiaodai is so considerate. Wang Zhong sighed. It's okay. You helped me so much. This is what I should do. After Shindai finished speaking, she glanced at Zhou Yunxia with a smug look. When Zhou Yunxia saw this, she secretly hated herself for not thinking of this. Xiaodai was usually carefree, but she did not expect her to know needlework. However, Zhou Yunxia had come prepared and calmly took out some biscuits from her space ring. Junior brother, I know you're going on a long journey. These are the flatbread and some roasted meat that I made last night. Put them in your storage ring. Oh, you all have space rings. Shindai said with red eyes. Zhou Yunxia smiled and said, Yes, junior brother Atu gave it to me last time. Look, isn't it beautiful? As if showing off a treasure, Zhou Yunxia raised the space ring and waved it in front of Shindai. Shindai's eyes reddened and her delicate body trembled. Junior brother Atu gave such good things to Zhou Yunxia, but he didn't have one. What did this mean? The jealousy in her heart suddenly overturned. Wang Zhong was now very embarrassed. Fortunately, Zhou Yunxia and the others came over at this time. These people all knew that Wang Zhong was leaving, so they came to see him off. Junior brother Atu, these are some local specialties of my family. Eat them on the way. These are clothes I bought at the foot of the mountain. This is a hat I bought. Junior brother Atu, when a boy goes out, remember to take care of himself. You must pay attention to your safety. Senior brothers, junior sisters, senior sisters, I Atu, will never forget your kindness. Looking at the cute disciples in front of him, Wang Zhong felt warm in his heart. After chatting for a while, the disciples finally left. Shindai and Zhou Yunxia didn't want to be seen as special, so they left early. After the two women left, Wang Zhong carefully breathed a sigh of relief. Sometimes too much charm was really troublesome. The next day, Wang Zhong finally set off. He only had a simple bag on him, and the rest of his things were placed in the space ring. It was very convenient. When he left, there were naturally many people to see him off. Even the sect master's wife, Xiao Hua, came. It was just that in the eyes of outsiders, Xiao Hua was just the sect master's monster pet. Everyone goodbye. Wang Zhong waved and left this place that left a deep impression on him. After going down the mountain, Wang Zhong immediately left the city. He didn't go in the direction of the monster race, but in the direction of Stone Village. Anyway, he wasn't in a hurry to go to the monster race, so he went back to Stone Village to see his former dog mother and his childhood playmate, Song Wanyu. However, he didn't walk very fast. Instead, he walked while enjoying the scenery along the way. Sometimes, when he encountered some bullies, he would help them. It was also a kind of fun. The only thing that made him depressed now was that he couldn't cultivate his tail. There was only one tail, which made him very puzzled. Could it be that my monster fox physique's talent is too poor? Wang Zhong shook his head. After walking for so long, he finally came to the forest outside Stone Village. After so many years, Stone Village had changed a lot. The collapsed trees in the periphery were gone, replaced by patches of grass and shrubs. To be honest, if it weren't for his extraordinary memory, he wouldn't have recognized this place for a while. Entering Stone Village, many houses had changed a lot. A group of children were playing happily in front of the house, and some kittens and puppies were lying at the door bored and napping. Wang Zhong quickened his pace, and finally saw the Song family's gate. However, what made Wang Zhong frown was that the Song family's gate was much more deserted than before. After thinking about it, Wang Zhong still didn't choose to enter from the main gate. Instead, he went to the backyard and sniffed inside. After making sure that there was no one inside, Wang Zhong jumped over the wall. After walking for a while, a familiar wall came into view. After going around the wall, Wang Zhong was stunned. The familiar door of the house was covered in dust. Obviously, no one had cleaned it for a long time. In the courtyard in front of the door, flowers and trees grew in a mess. The big tree that he jumped on before was broken in half for some reason, and no one cleaned it. Why is the Song family in such dire straits? Wang Zhong furrowed his eyebrows and walked towards the kennel. Although no one cleaned it for a long time, the kennel here didn't seem to have been destroyed, because there was a broken dog bowl at the door of the kennel. There was some leftover soup in it. Dog mother. Wang Zhong tried to call out. Swoosh swoosh swoosh. A pitch-black puppy slowly walked out of the kennel. Behind the puppy were two other puppies with bad fur. You are. The dog mother's cloudy eyes gradually brightened. The dog mother didn't seem to be in good condition. Her fur was dull, and one of her legs was limping. However, her cloudy eyes gradually brightened after seeing Wang Zhong. A Tuesday, the dog mother exclaimed. Just as she finished speaking, footsteps came from outside. Wang Zhong thought for a while, and immediately hit on the roof. An old woman walked in with some leftovers. Seeing the old woman, the dog mother wagged her tail in a friendly manner. The dog mother's two children also ran out of the kennel and wagged their tails happily. Obviously, they were very familiar with the old woman. Little Black, it's time to eat. The old woman bowed and walked in slowly. After putting the leftovers on the ground, Little Black looked at the old woman happily. However, it didn't eat first. Instead, it let its two children eat first. Looking at the old woman, Wang Zhong's heart skipped a beat. Isn't this old woman Song Wanyu's mother? Back then, her mother was the wife of the Song family's head. Since when did she dress so shabbily? What happened to the Song family? Wang Zhong frowned. It was a little strange. Eat slowly. Before Wanyu left, I promised her that I would take good care of you. Sigh, the old woman said. She patted Little Black's head and turned to leave. Wang Zhong didn't follow. He didn't understand the current situation of the Song family. It wasn't wise to act rashly. Although he wasn't afraid, it would be troublesome if his appearance hurt the dog mother and Song Wanyu's mother. After Song Wanyu's mother left, Wang Zhong jumped down. Little Black ran over and sniffed Wang Zhong excitedly. It's you. It's Atu's smell. Atu. Although Wang Zhong's human form had changed a lot, Little Black's sharp dog nose recognized Wang Zhong immediately. Wang Zhong said, Mother dog, you're a demon. Why is your fur so dirty? The dog mother didn't seem to be in a good condition. One of her legs was lame, her fur was dirty, and her cloudy glasses made her look like she didn't have long to live. However, Wang Zhong understood that as a little demon, the dog mother's lifespan wasn't up yet. Atu, I didn't want it to be like this. Ever since you left the Song family, my life in the Song family hasn't been good. The whole Song family hasn't been good either. What's wrong? Where's Song Wanyu? As he said that, Wang Zhong took out a pill from his interspatial ring. What's this? The dog mother sniffed the pill in Wang Zhong's hand. Her eyes lit up. A pill? This is for me? Yes. It can at least double your cultivation. If you cultivate well, you might be able to turn into a human. I don't want to turn into a human. The demon aura is stronger in human form. I can't hide. Although she said that, the dog mother still bit the pill that Wang Zhong gave her. Tell me what happened here. Well, after you left, nothing happened. But one day, someone suddenly came to the village. Chapter 463. After listening to the mother dog's explanation, Wang Zhong finally understood everything. It turned out that 2 years after he left, a person called Zhou Wanbang came here. This person was originally from a small family with the surname Zhou. In the early years, his father was the head of the Zhou family, but he suddenly lost his power. After that, Zhou Wanbang was humiliated and ridiculed in the family. Tian, who was originally engaged to him, even ran over to him to break the engagement. After that, Zhou Wanbang left the Zhou family. Before he left, he said, "Don't bully the young for being poor. Every dog has its day. I will come back and teach you a lesson." No one knew what happened to him, but after he returned from his travels, his strength really improved by leaps and bounds. He suddenly became one of the top masters in the area. After returning to his family, he directly took revenge on all those who had harmed him in the past. 2 members of the Zhou family were crippled by him, and he became the real head of the Zhou family. Even the other families in the area went to curry favor with him. At first, everyone was living in harmony. However, Zhou Wanbang was too smart. On the surface, he seemed to be living in harmony with the other families, but gradually came up with all kinds of ways to get rich in secret. He was trying to squeeze the other families' businesses. For example, he invented an inn called the Hot Pot Restaurant, which was very popular. He also invented many snacks, such as stinky tofu, fried noodles, meat patties, and all kinds of snacks, which quickly took over the nearby businesses. As he earned more and more money, the businesses of the surrounding families were gradually taken away. He even suppressed them openly and secretly, and several families' lands were taken away. The Song family's business was getting worse and worse. When the business was bad, they couldn't earn money. Without money, they didn't have the resources to nurture the next generation. The next generation became weak, and the family's power also became weaker. Therefore, under the vicious cycle, the Song family couldn't even afford to raise a few maids. However, they didn't dare to say anything. They also didn't dare to do anything to Zhou Wanbang. After all, he was very strong. What made the Song family even more uncomfortable was that once when Zhou Wanbang went out, he happened to meet Song Wanyu, who was training in the wild. Zhou Wanbang fell in love with the young, cute, and kind-hearted Song Wanyu. Therefore, he started to pursue Song Wanyu. The next day, he sent rare treasures. The third day, he sent cultivation resources. On the 4th day, a matchmaker came. "I don't want to get married yet. Send these things back." The dog mother imitated Song Wanyu's words and sighed. "That's what she said. Did you offend Zhou Wanbang later?" Wang Zhong asked. "That's useless." Zhou Wanbang didn't say anything and went back. However, some of Zhou Wanbang's subordinates started to target our Song family. In the end, Miss Wanyu couldn't stand the pressure and "What's wrong with her?" Wang Zhong's heart tightened. She told her parents that she was going out for training and left. He went to train. Wang Zhong breathed a sigh of relief. However, he still asked, "Since so many things have happened, does the Song clan not have any other helpers? What about Song Xian? Wasn't he a disciple of the Cloud Energy sect?" Song Xian sighed. He was defeated by Zhou Wanbang in the tournament. He ran away from home. Wang Zhong frowned. Song Xian was the best disciple he had seen in terms of attitude and temperament. He didn't expect him to be defeated. And from what the dog mother said, Zhou Wanbang was the one who invented hot pot and stinky tofu. Wang Zhong's eyes lit up. "He's a transmigrator?" After analyzing this, Wang Zhong was very excited. After playing so many games, this was the first time he discovered a transmigrator. How did he come in? Why did he come in? What was his purpose? Was it good or bad? There were simply too many problems. "Then why is your leg crippled? I saw that Song Wanyu's mother treated you very well. Why are you so dirty?" Wang Zhong asked curiously. I don't have a choice. The Song family is being suppressed by the Zhou family. The Song family is divided into two factions. One faction is led by Song Chong. They feel that if the Zhou family continues to develop like this, the Song family will be swallowed up sooner or later. The other faction is led by Song Long. He and his father want Miss Wanyu to marry Zhou Wanbang. They feel that after marrying Zhou Wanbang, the Zhou family will definitely share resources with them. But Song Chong said that it's impossible. The Zhou family's ambition will not allow the two families to develop peacefully. Then, Miss Wanyu left without saying goodbye. Many people opposed Song Chong. When Song Long came in to look for Miss Wanyu, he didn't like me and kicked me. Song Long. Hearing this name, Wang Zhong narrowed his eyes. When Song Wanyu was young, Song Long was defeated by Song Wanyu and kicked him out of resentment. After so many years, this guy is still the same. Sigh, I didn't notice and was kicked. My leg was fractured. If it wasn't for Madam who saved me, I'm afraid. Sigh. I was worried that he would find trouble with me. So I made myself dirty. Now I don't even dare to go out. The Song family is different from before. Song Chong and his wife lost their power, so they're not doing well. Where is Song Long now? I'm not sure. But this guy often goes to the Zhou family. He's now the Zhou family's lackey. Wang Zhong nodded, indicating that he understood. Oh right, Atu. When Miss Wanyu left, she said that after a few years of cultivation, she will go to the shifter territory to look for you. What? She wants to go to the shifter territory? Yes, but Miss Wanyu's parents don't know. They only think that she wants to join some sect to cultivate. Atu. On account of Miss Wanyu's kindness when you were young, please save her. She's all alone, and has no one to rely on. It's very pitiful for a girl to be alone outside. Mother Dog said with a sad face. Wang Zhong sighed. This silly child. Why did she think of looking for me? Miss Wanyu often talks about you. She was very sad when you left. This, Wang Zhong sighed. Thinking about it, it made sense. In modern society, many pets that had accompanied their owners for a long time went missing or died. The owners would be very sad, not to mention such a kind girl like Song Wanyu. It's a pity that there are so many people. How can it be so easy to find her? Actually, it's not that difficult. Before Miss Wanyu left, I saw her analyze. In between the human and shifter territories, there are many big cities where humans and shifter live together. She'll probably go there. I understand. With this matter settled, Wang Zhong did not plan to stay here. He said, Mother Dog, I'll go first. You're going to look for Zhou Wanbang? Although Mother Dog was a dog, she was very smart. Knowing Wang Zhong's personality, she guessed what Wang Zhong wanted to do. Wang Zhong nodded and said, That's right. I can't interfere in the Song family's affairs, but I'm quite interested in that Zhou Wanbang. I'll help you get rid of Song Long, so that he won't trouble you in the future. Forget it. It's too dangerous. That Zhou Wanbang is not only powerful, but also very scheming. I'm afraid you'll be at a disadvantage. It's okay, Mother Dog. I'll come back to see you. Wang Zhong left behind some healing pills before leaving the place. Looking at Wang Zhong's back, Mother Dog sighed and said, Atu is still so fearless. But I believe that you'll get better and better in the future. He casually sensed around the Song family, and did not find Song Long. However, he found Song Long's parents and some relatives. Now that Song Chong's position as the head of the Song family had been removed, although the couple's safety was not a problem, they could no longer enjoy any of the family's resources. Their lives were not very good. It was obvious that Song Wanyu had made a wise choice when she left. Otherwise, even if she did not get married, she would not have had a good life. After leaving, Wang Zhong asked some people on the way, and found out the direction of the Zhou family. He walked all the way and finally arrived at the Zhou family. After arriving, Wang Zhong realized that he had passed by this place before. In the past, the Zhou family was just a small family that started by selling rice. The strongest person in the family was probably only at the void return level. He did not expect that in the few years that he had left, they had become so strong. Now, not only did the Zhou family occupy a large area, but there were also many experts in the family. Standing at the door, He could sense that there were many experts inside. In particular, Wang Zhong smelled a familiar scent. Song Long was inside. Young Master Zhou, these medicinal herbs were bought by my friend from the western region. I know that you're in a critical period of cultivation recently, so I specially sent them to you. In the courtyard where Zhou Wanbang lived, Song Long respectfully took out a small box of medicinal herbs and said flatteringly. Although Zhou Wanbang was strong, his appearance was very ordinary. His face was full of pockmarks that shone like stars. No wonder Tian Tian did not agree to marry him. It was just that he did not expect Zhou Wanbang to have developed so well in just a few years. He probably transmigrated. Wang Zhong stood on the roof and quietly observed Zhou Wanbang. Zhou Wanbang had no enmity with him, so he would not go against Zhou Wanbang for no reason. However, it was necessary for him to understand the situation. He needed to find out Zhou Wanbang's origin. Was he a game player or did he transmigrate? If he transmigrated, it meant that this world was not a game world but real. If he was a game player, then the problem was even bigger. It meant that there were more than one game player in this world. Wang Zhong was getting more and more curious about the origins of this rebirth biological system game. While Wang Zhong was thinking, Zhou Wanbang picked up the medicinal herbs in the box and nodded. Mid-grade spiritual herbs, Little Long, you're too kind. Hearing the praise, Song Long smiled and bowed his head. It's my responsibility to serve young Master Zhou. Well, but have you done the other thing I asked you to do? Zhou Wanbang asked calmly. This? Song Long was embarrassed. Song Wanyu is a member of the Song family. You can't even do such a small thing to find her. What are you doing? Song Long quickly lowered his head. I don't know what happened to that woman. She hasn't been back for a long time. But young Master Zhou, I've found you many beauties who are not inferior to Song Wanyu. You can take a look. Chapter 464. Even though they were scolded by Lei Yang in a roundabout way, Octopus and Polar Bear did not dare to say a word. The reason was simple. They were all boxers and boxers respected strength. Moreover, Lei Yang was ruthless. Most of the boxers who fought with him ended up in a miserable state. The two of them had experienced it before. Fortunately, they had swallowed their pride and admitted that they were inferior. That was why Lei Yang was not ruthless. At that moment, the two of them naturally did not dare to say anything. As Lei Yang strode out, Lei Qingshan said in a deep voice, "Cripple that kid's legs to prevent him from causing trouble in the future." Yes, Lei Yang responded. He walked to the bottom of the stage, stomped his foot, and leaped up. Scar, after this fight is over, we should talk about business. Lei Qingshan no longer looked at his son, but at Scar. Do you think that our business is over just because you found a retard to block the bullet for you? Lei Qingshan was all smiles, looking as though he had Scar under his control. Scar's face turned ugly. Lei Qingshan, you heard what that kid said. Even if he loses, he will be the one paying for the bet. It has nothing to do with me. What do you take me, Lei Qingshan, for? Do you think it has nothing to do with you? I'll say this. If this kid can pay, I'll leave immediately. If he can't, you will pay for it. It's fine if you can't. I want this bar. Lei Qingshan, aren't you being too much of a bully? Scar said in a deep voice. A wise man submits to circumstances. Scar, what kind of experts do you have under you now? Quit while you still have some money. We can still be friends in the future. Otherwise, The threat was self-evident. On the stage, Wang Tsong looked calm in the face of Lei Yang's imposing aura. Almost everyone in the audience supported Lei Yang. Let's begin. Wang Tsong raised his arm. Lei Yang's face was ferocious. He stomped on the ground and charged forward. His body was like a bomb as he charged at Wang Tsong fiercely. A Muay Thai expert's moves were usually simple, but every move was ruthless. It was rumored that if he really wanted to kill, his elbow and knee attacks could instantly break the enemy's bones. The crowd below was so nervous that their hearts were in their throats. Some kind-hearted people felt that Wang Tsong's bones would probably be broken. However, Wang Tsong was not nervous in front of everyone. Bang! Wang Tsong easily caught Lei Yang's fist. The originally arrogant Lei Yang's expression changed drastically, and he actually retreated over 3 meters. How could you block my attack? Lei Yang was in disbelief. His eyes suddenly narrowed. After practicing martial arts for so long, other than his master, he had never met a worthy opponent. I don't like people who can take my punch, not even one punch. So I've decided to break your bones. Lei Yang seemed to have given Wang Song a death sentence. Then with a loud shout, the veins on his arms bulged, and his dark skin bulged with firm muscles. Below the stage, Lei Qingshan stood up excitedly. Open your eyes and take a look. My son is going to use his master's secret technique, Elephant Tie Fist. The few big shots around him hurriedly flattered him. I didn't expect Guba to teach Lei Yang his famous technique, the Mustang Fist. Master Kuba thinks highly of Lei Yang. Yeah. Knife Scar drank a cup of wine bitterly, and thought in disdain. Isn't it just because he has Kuba, the great Buddha? If not for Kuba's teachings, would your son be so powerful? Just as he was thinking, Lei Yang suddenly exclaimed from the stage. How is that possible? Lei Yang's arm was already grabbed by Wang Kong. Wang Song suddenly lifted his leg and smashed it directly on Lei Yang's chin. Bang! Lei Yang flew backward, and a few of his teeth were even knocked out. You've only learned a little, but you don't know the true profoundness of martial arts. Wang Song stood with his hands behind his back, and another kick landed on Lei Yang's chest. Ah! From the looks of it, Lei Yang's ribs were all broken. This time, Lei Yang could no longer stand up. He held his chest and kept howling in pain. How is that possible? Lei Qingshan suddenly stood up and brought his men to the stage. Son, how are you? My ribs hurt. What? A group of underlings quickly helped Lei Yang down the stage. Then, Lei Qingshan glared at Wang Song. How dare you hurt my son? Your son's skills are inferior. And he even said that he would break my legs. I'm already being polite by only breaking his ribs. Wang Song looked over and said without fear. The surroundings were dead silent. Wang Song won. This person who still looked like a student really won. Ha ha. Scar was the first to laugh. Although he didn't win any money in this competition, at least he didn't lose anything. Instead, he made Lei Qingshan lose all his face, and his son was seriously injured. Lei Qingshan, if you agree to a bet, you have to admit defeat. Are you trying to cheat? Scar stood up and cheered for Wang Kong. As the saying goes, the enemy of an enemy is a friend. At this time, he naturally wouldn't stand alone. All right. Kid, remember this. I, Lei Qingshan, won't let this matter rest. Anyway, I'll be sparring here often. Feel free to challenge me. Wang Song shouted heartily. The audience below the stage was extremely surprised. This arrogant guy is actually so powerful. Yeah, he actually defeated Lei Yang. Too handsome. The arrogant king is too awesome. How can this guy be so handsome? Most importantly, he's so powerful. Ding dong. Obtain victory. Received the adoration of countless fans. The host is in a good mood. Congratulations on obtaining 5,000 satisfaction points. Wang Song sucked in a cold breath. He didn't expect to receive so many satisfaction points after obtaining victory. Although he had expected to receive many satisfaction points, it was still unexpected. Lei Qingshan led his men to carry his son, and left the place. Under Zhang Kai's respectful lead, Wang Song came to the booth where Scar was. The few big shots beside Scar had a solemn expression. As Wang Song sat down, these people were even more nervous. After all, when Wang Song revealed himself, he was much stronger than Lei Yang. If such a person wanted to deal with them, they wouldn't have the time to make a move. Who said that he was a brainless student? Who said that he was here to be a joke? Who said that he was here to court death? *CK him. These people were cursing in their hearts. This guy was too pretentious. Did he look like an expert? What was the point of pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger? When he first came in, couldn't he show us a few moves, so that we could suck up to him? Now Zhang Kai had taken all the advantage. They knew that Zhang Kai had bet his entire fortune on Wang Song's victory. Now it had multiplied several times. After all, Wang Song's odds were high. Scar also changed his previous disdain, and hurriedly stood up to welcome Wang Kong. Congratulations on your victory, brother Wang Kong. I knew it. Brother Wang Song is a man of striking appearance and extraordinary might. He's definitely not an ordinary person. None of you think highly of him. Lin Hao was shocked. At this moment, he felt that Wang Song had changed into a different person. He was like a ferocious beast staring at him. As long as he said something wrong, this ferocious beast would fulfill his promise. He swallowed his saliva. Although he was afraid, there were so many people around him. This gave him a great sense of security. Wang Song, I know you can fight. But today I'll show you what power is. Do you think I only have so many people? Let me tell you, I know both the black and white sides. Today, I'll let you meet the boss of this area, Brother Scar. Brother Scar? Wang Song's expression was strange. Wasn't this the Brother Scar from the bar, who was almost bankrupted by Lei Qingshan's boxer? They knew that Zhang Kai had bet his entire fortune on Wang Song's victory. Now it had multiplied several times. After all, Wang Song's odds were high. Scar also changed his previous disdain, and hurriedly stood up to welcome Wang Kong. Congratulations on your victory, Brother Wang Kong. I knew it. Brother Wang Song is a man of striking appearance and extraordinary might. He's definitely not an ordinary person. None of you think highly of him. Lin Hao was shocked. At this moment, he felt that Wang Song had changed into a different person. He was like a ferocious beast staring at him. As long as he said something wrong, this ferocious beast would fulfill his promise. He swallowed his saliva. Although he was afraid, there were so many people around him. This gave him a great sense of security. Wang Song, I know you can fight. But today I'll show you what power is. Do you think I only have so many people? Let me tell you, I know both the black and white sides. Today, I'll let you meet the boss of this area, Brother Scar. Brother Scar? Wang Song had a strange look in his eyes. Wasn't this the Brother Scar from the bar, who was almost bankrupted by Lei Qingshan's boxer? This brother is talented and powerful. He's definitely not an ordinary person. Why didn't you all think highly of him? Lin Hao was shocked. At this moment, he felt that Wang Song had changed into a different person. He was like a ferocious beast staring at him. As long as he said something wrong, this ferocious beast would fulfill his promise. Wang Song, I know you can fight. But today, I'll show you what power is. Do you think I only have so many people? Let me tell you, I know both the black and white sides. Today, I'll let you meet the boss of this area, Brother Scar. Brother Scar? Wang Song had a strange look in his eyes. Wasn't this the Brother Scar from the bar, who was almost bankrupted by Lei Qingshan's boxer? This brother is talented and powerful. He's definitely not an ordinary person. Why didn't you all think highly of him? Lin Hao was shocked. At this moment, he felt that Wang Song had changed into a different person. He was like a ferocious beast staring at him. As long as he said something wrong, this ferocious beast would fulfill his promise. Wang Song, I know you can fight. But today, I'll show you what power is. Do you think I only have so many people? Let me tell you, I know both the black and white sides. Today, I'll let you meet the boss of this area, Brother Scar. Brother Scar? Wang Song had a strange look in his eyes. Wasn't this the Brother Scar from the bar, who was almost bankrupted by Lei Qingshan's boxer? This brother is talented and powerful. He's definitely not an ordinary person. Why didn't you all think highly of him? Lin Hao was shocked. At this moment, he felt that Wang Song had changed into a different person. He was like a ferocious beast staring at him. As long as he said something wrong, this ferocious beast would fulfill his promise. Brother Scar? Wang Song had a strange look in his eyes. Wasn't this the Brother Scar from the bar, who was almost bankrupted by Lei Qingshan's boxer? This brother is talented and powerful. He's definitely not an ordinary person. Why didn't you all think highly of him? Lin Hao was shocked. At this moment, he felt that Wang Song had changed into a different person. He was like a ferocious beast staring at him. As long as he said something wrong, this ferocious beast would fulfill his promise. Chapter 465. This gas is colorless and odorless. Zhou Wanbang respectfully bowed his head. The corner of his mouth slowly outlined an imperceptible smile. Wang Zhong naturally didn't feel anything and continued to ask. After you came here, Since you transmigrated into Zhou Wanbang's body and became so strong in such a short time, you should have had a fortuitous encounter. Tell me, what is going on? Zhou Wanbang seriously said. There is a bit of a fortuitous encounter. Nothing more than eating some heaven and earth treasures. Senior, if you want, I can get it for you. For this Zhou Wanbang to be so polite, Wang Zhong was actually quite vigilant in his heart. But at this time, he suddenly felt that the spiritual power in his body was a bit weak and suddenly frowned. Huh? His voice was very soft, but it was still heard by Zhou Wanbang. Senior, what's wrong? Zhou Wanbang looked up and asked with a bit of excitement in his eyes. He knew that the effect of the medicine might be working. Wang Zhong frowned and said, Something's not right. What's wrong? Why do I feel weak all over? Wang Zhong frowned, but did not panic. Huh? Senior, are you poisoned? That Song Chong is extremely cunning. You have to be careful. Is that so? But I came here without any problem. Instead, after you took out this pile of things, my body is not good. Senior, are you blaming me? Is it not your doing? After Wang Zhong finished speaking, the demonic qi in his body was like a broken dam, pouring out 1,000 miles. Even Zhou Wanbang felt it. What a strong spiritual power. TSK, I really didn't expect it. Zhou Wanbang sighed. Senior, can you tell me how to cultivate? This is my own secret, why should I tell you? Ha ha ha. Senior, your spiritual power is gone, and you still want to be arrogant with me? At this moment, Zhou Wanbang no longer hid it, because there was no need to. With so much spiritual power leaking out, he was already a complete waste. System, what is his combat power now? Zhou Wanbang asked in his heart. Combat power 234. Ha ha ha, wonderful, wonderful, I can pinch him to death with one finger. Zhou Wanbang was very proud. How did you do it? Even if you want me to die, shouldn't I at least know the reason? Wang Zhong gritted his teeth. This is the snake venom I got from the wild sky python's nest. Although the people bitten by the wild sky python won't die, the spiritual energy in their body will quickly disappear. I used this to refine a colorless and odorless gas. Sure enough, the effect is pretty good. This was Zhou Wanbang's ultimate trump card. As a modern man, he knew the importance of trump cards. The previous show of goodwill and begging for mercy was all to make Wang Zhong lower his guard, so that he could absorb the gas. However, Zhou Wanbang's heart was also very distressed. The number of wild heavenly pythons was very small. Even if they had battle power, they would have reached hundreds of millions. It was not something that ordinary people could deal with. The reason why he could obtain this snake venom was because he had accidentally encountered a wild heavenly python that had died of old age. Even so, he only managed to refine 2 bottles of this poisonous gas. Now that he had directly used a bottle, it was equivalent to having 1 less trump card. Naturally, his heart ached. So it's the raging sky python. Wang Zhong had read an introduction of the wild sky python in an ancient book and knew that the snake venom was very powerful. Even a body integration realm expert would lose their spiritual energy after being poisoned. I see. To think that you said that we were from the same hometown. You actually want to attack me. Are you stupid? Have you ever heard of a fellow villager stabbing a fellow villager in the back? Good, very good. Then how do you know that you can deal with me? Wang Zhong said indifferently. Seeing Wang Zhong's calm appearance, Zhou Wanbang's heart trembled. He thought to himself, could it be that he really has some trump card? However, after taking a closer look, he felt that it was unlikely. It was very simple. His system could measure his battle power. It could not be faked. Therefore, he concluded that Wang Zhong was bluffing. You're still pretending when you're about to die. Let me tell you, I have a system in my body, a battle power system. I can see everyone's battle power. Your current battle power is so weak that it's only around 200. You want to be arrogant with me? Ha ha ha. So that's how it is. As a modern person, Wang Zhong certainly knew what a system was. Cut the crap. If you want to die quickly, let me ask you. What secrets do you have? How did you become strong? Come closer, Wang Zhong said. TSK, do you think I'm stupid? I'll break your hands and feet first. Zhou Wanbang could live for so long. His vigilance was actually very high. After saying that, he waved his spirit energy and wanted to break Wang Zhong's legs. Bang! Wang Zhong, who had no spirit energy, had no resistance at all and flew out directly. Plop! He landed on the ground, splashing up flying dust. Wang Zhong was in so much pain that he gritted his teeth. Gotcha! Zhou Wanbang stepped on Wang Zhong's chest. He was now sure that Wang Zhong really had no resistance. Say, how did you become strong? At this time Wang Zhong smiled. He stretched out his hand and directly grabbed Zhou Wanbang's ankle. Zhou Wanbang frowned. You still want to resist? You probably don't know how I interrogated others. He was just about to shake off Wang Zhong's hand with his spirit energy, but to his surprise, Wang Zhong's hand was like a pair of pliers, holding him tightly. How is this possible? He looked at Wang Zhong's combat strength again. It was indeed very weak, but his strength was surprisingly great. System, what's going on? Warning, a body cultivator has been detected. Unable to determine his specific combat strength. The cold voice echoed in Zhou Wanbang's mind. Wang Zhong's other hand also grabbed Zhou Wanbang's other leg at this time. With a sudden twist, Zhou Wanbang's legs were broken. Ah! Zhou Wanbang trembled in pain. System, save me. The opponent's combat strength cannot be determined. Run immediately, run immediately. Zhou Wanbang also wanted to run, but he couldn't at all. He already knew all of Zhou Wanbang's secrets, so before Zhou Wanbang could beg for mercy, Wang Zhong used the absolute physical strength of the Tyrannosaurus constitution to kill Zhou Wanbang with one punch. As soon as Zhou Wanbang died, a faint white light rose. The host is dead. Returning. The system's cold voice echoed. Wang Zhong originally wanted to grab the system, but he caught nothing. The system directly disappeared without a trace. It ran pretty fast. Wang Zhong was actually a little scared at this time. If he didn't have the Tyrannosaurus constitution, he was afraid that he would have really died. This also showed that there was a flaw in the combat power system. It could only detect spiritual power and combat power, but it couldn't detect the strength of his physical body. He tidied up Zhou Wanbang's spoils. As he guessed, there were a lot of good things, precious herbs, millions of jade, and tens of thousands of taels of silver. It seems that I have enough money for the rest of the journey. Wang Zhong was happy. He didn't expect Zhou Wanbang to be so rich. But the most important thing was still a bottle of poisonous gas with the words colorless and odorless poison written on it. Wang Zhong didn't expect there to be another bottle of this thing. It can actually poison me. This thing can be considered a trump card. After removing the illusion formation here, Wang Zhong packed up his things, found a direction and set off. There was nothing to stay in this place. Now he was officially heading to the demon territory. After a day, the poisonous gas in his body gradually disappeared, and his demon power slowly recovered. This time, Wang Zhong took the main road to the demon territory. Not only was the journey safe, but it was also very comfortable. Finally, Wang Zhong arrived at the border city. This was a big city of the human race, but because it was close to the demon territory, there were also many demons here. Although there were some differences between the human race and the demon race, and some looked down on each other, overall, everyone got along peacefully. While the two sides schemed against each other, they also did business with each other. Some of the higher-ups even intermarried for the sake of each other's interests. There were countless forces that formed alliances between the demon race and the human race. Have you heard? There's a girl with the nine-tailed fox bloodline in the Fox clan. Now the Fox clan is holding a martial arts competition for a spouse. The strongest Fox clan will have a chance to marry the nine-tailed fox. I've heard about it. It's a pity that I'm not a fox. Otherwise, I'd definitely marry her. Forget it. Even if you're a fox, do you think you can stand out among hundreds of thousands of foxes? Don't look down on others. The inn was bustling with noise and excitement. Wang Zhong sat in the inner seat of the inn and calmly listened to some of the guests' conversations. The nine-tailed fox martial arts competition for a spouse, Wang Zhong murmured. He kind of knew that the original Atu liked Princess Nine-Tailed Fox back then. Atu must have heard about the martial arts competition for a spouse when he was wandering outside. So he went to take a look. At that time, he saw Princess Nine-Tailed Fox from afar and was immediately stunned. Unfortunately, the original Atu was terrifyingly weak. Although he liked Princess Nine-Tailed Fox very much, due to his lack of strength, he naturally had no chance with her. While he was thinking, a group of people in white clothes came into the inn. These people did not hide their fox tails and swung them. It was obvious that this group of people were fox demons. If I can marry Princess Nine-Tailed Fox, I'll definitely let her know how powerful I am, ha ha ha. Isn't that so? I heard that Princess Nine-Tailed Fox is very beautiful. The people in the inn were all laughing and talking. These people were naturally heard by the group of fox demons. The leading fox demon in human form frowned and slapped them with a backhand. Slap slap. The two men who were talking just now were sent flying with two slaps in the air. Clang. They fell at Wang Zhong's feet and wailed incessantly. Two good-for-nothings. How dare you talk about the princess of the Fox clan? The fox demon who hit them shouted sternly. Master Fox, don't be angry. They're drunk. The innkeeper quickly came over to greet them. I'm sorry. The two men did not dare to say anything else and quickly left. Seeing them leave, the fox demon who hit them looked a little better. Then the group of people sat up and began chatting again. It was obvious that these foxes were of high status. Even though this was an inn run by humans, no one dared to say anything about them hitting people just now. We should hurry to Fox City in the next few days. Although we might not be able to win Princess Nine-Tailed Fox's favor, it's still very good to see the heroes of our fox clan. Yeah, I heard that it's a big event this time. Not only our fox clan, but many demons from other clans are also there. Chapter 466. What the F***? Why are the other races joining in the fun? Isn't that so? Are they trying to snatch Princess Nine-Tailed Fox from us? The fox demon who spoke earlier said, that's not it. They're just looking at the young talents of our fox clan. Of course, there are also some bold ones who want to kiss Princess Nine-Tailed Fox Fang Zhe. If these guys dare to insult our princess, we'll fight them to the death. That's right, everyone. At this moment, Wang Zhong walked over and greeted them. May I know when Princess Nine-Tailed Fox's martial arts competition will be held? Scram. The leader of the fox demons snorted coldly. Wang Zhong was stunned. He helplessly stretched out his fox tail. I'm also a fox demon. You're also a fox demon? Everyone raised their eyebrows in surprise. Why can't I sense any demonic aura from you? Wang Zhong explained. My cultivation is weak. Then it's better not to join in the fun. Fox City is a mess now. You'll only be asking for trouble if you go. Wang Zhong smiled and said, I'm just going to see the world. Seniors, please enlighten me. Forget it. Since we're all fox demons, I'll tell you. The princess's martial arts competition will be held in a month. During this period, everyone is signing up. At that time, there will be a unified martial arts competition. The winner will be together with Princess Nine-Tailed Fox for an engagement ceremony. After saying that, the fox demons at the table all looked envious. Being together with Princess Nine-Tailed Fox was something they didn't even dare to think about. Wang Zhong nodded to express his understanding. He cupped his hands and said, Thank you for answering my questions, seniors. I'll take my leave. Wang Zhong quickly left. After buying a map from the roadside, he set off for Fox City. Along the way, Wang Zhong arrived at many major cities of the demon race. Finally, he arrived at Fox City half a month later. As soon as he arrived at the entrance of Fox City, Wang Zhong saw a very long line. There were humans and demons in the line. It was very lively. Along the way, almost everyone was talking about Princess Nine-Tailed Fox. Strictly speaking, although Princess Nine-Tailed Fox was beautiful, the reason why these people came was not because of that, but because of her talent. Rumor had it that if one could be together with Princess Nine-Tailed Fox, their descendants would definitely have a chance to obtain the Nine-Tailed Fox bloodline. Who wouldn't want their descendants to have powerful innate talents? Although the monsters of other races were different from the Nine-Tailed Fox's bloodline, they could still combine, even if they were humans. Therefore, many monsters of other races came. After entering the city, Wang Zhong found a good inn to stay in. Then, he inquired about how to register and how to compete. The registration fee was quite expensive, requiring hundreds of thousands of jade stones. This was not because the Fox clan wanted to rely on this to earn money, but because there were too many cats and dogs that came to register. This money was actually a kind of competition for this competition, to prevent people without any status from coming to cause trouble. Wang Zhong naturally signed up. This time, he had a mission to marry Princess Nine-Tailed Fox, so he had to win this time. According to the information he had gathered over the past few days, he also knew what kind of existence the Fox clan was. The Fox clan was one of the most ancient races of the Demon clan. The royal family of the Fox clan naturally had the Nine-Tailed Fox bloodline. This time, Princess Nine-Tailed Fox's name was Mengwei, although she was given the title of Princess Nine-Tailed Fox. In fact, she only had a little more Nine-Tailed Fox bloodline than other people of the same clan. She was not a true Nine-Tailed Fox. Even so, Mengwei's mantissa had already been cultivated to 5 tails. Rumor had it that she was about to break through to 6 tails. With the strength of 6 tails at such a young age, it was very likely that she would obtain the power of 9 tails in the future. After learning so much information, Wang Zhong stayed in the inn to cultivate and consolidate his cultivation. Finally, on the 13th day, the Nine-Tailed Fox clan's martial arts competition officially began. This time, the martial arts competition was simpler than Wang Zhong imagined. All the young geniuses who wanted to participate in the competition were to enter the Fox clan's secret realm, Wanhu Mountain. The secret realm wasn't large. There was only a bare mountain without any vegetation. After entering, all the young geniuses would begin to fight. The final victor would be the first place of the martial arts competition, the fiancé of Princess Nine-Tailed Fox. Logically speaking, there shouldn't be any danger in this martial arts competition, because every participant would be given a token. If they were seriously injured or surrendered, they could crush the token and leave immediately. As long as they left the secret realm, they would be disqualified from participating in the martial arts competition. However, if they crushed the token too late, or if they were seriously injured, their lives would be in danger if they didn't make it in time. The Nine-Tailed Fox clan had informed everyone of these dangers in advance. Everyone knew about it. At this moment, Wang Zhong and countless Fox clan disciples were standing in the huge square. Even though they were all Fox clan, there was still a distinction between the strong and the weak. There were 381 surnames in the Fox clan. Most of them overlapped with human names. Among them, the 6 largest clans all had the Nine-Tailed Fox bloodline. The Meng He by Huang O and Fox clans were the top clans. The Meng clan was a big clan that was like the sun in the midday sky. Not only were there many experts in the clan, but they also had Meng Wei, who had the strongest Nine-Tailed Fox bloodline. Many people speculated that the young geniuses from the other 5 clans had the highest chance of winning this martial arts competition. These 5 clans were not only powerful, but also had many talents. It was said that each clan had arranged for more than 5 talented juniors to participate in this martial arts competition. Wang Zhong didn't stand out among so many fox demons. The most eye-catching ones were the 20 or so people standing in the front row. They were all from the 5 clans. After standing for more than an hour, an elder from the Meng clan stood up and began to explain the martial arts competition. The content was similar to Wang Zhong's understanding. A group of people would enter, and the loser would leave the secret realm. The last person remaining would be the winner. It seemed simple, but it was actually very difficult. If one wanted to win, it was impossible to rely on dodging. Because the area inside wasn't large, tens of thousands of people would randomly appear inside. If one was unlucky and met several fox demons in a row, they would use up a lot of demonic energy and would be unable to continue. When this rule was proposed, many people questioned it. However, the elder only said one thing. Our Nine-Tailed Fox princess not only needs strength, but also luck. Sometimes luck is also a part of strength. After hearing this, Wang Zhong expressed his agreement. The more one cultivated, the more they believed in these things. This was called luck. If one had good luck, then no matter how bad one's talent was, they would still be able to do well. Sometimes, one could even sense the feeling of ascension by drinking cold water. On the other hand, if one's talent wasn't good enough, then they wouldn't be able to do anything. The joust for a spouse finally began at the command of an elder of the Meng family. Wang Zhong only saw a flash of white light in front of his eyes. The next moment he disappeared from the square. When he opened his eyes, he saw a mountain in front of him. The mountain was rugged and there was no vegetation. The mountain was very tall, piercing through the clouds. However, the mountain was surrounded by yellow sand and dust. In the distance, there was a gray area. Wang Zhong knew that was the end of the secret realm. If he went there, he would directly leave the secret realm and lose the right to participate. Wang Zhong's first thought was to hide. After all, even a fool could see that the more opponents one met, the faster one's strength would be depleted. Just as he was about to find a place to hide, something unexpected happened. A fox demon with a strong back and a bear's waist and 2 tails stared at him. "Why don't you show your tail, kid?" the brawny man shouted. For a fox demon, demonic aura wasn't very accurate to judge the strength of one's own kind. This was because there were many secret techniques in this world that could conceal demonic aura. Therefore, the best way to judge was to see how many tails one had. The more tails one had, the stronger one would be among the same level. Of course, the rest would depend on the cultivation method and secret technique one cultivated. Wang Zhong said indifferently, "There's nothing to show. I don't want to fight yet. Stay away from me." "Haha, looks like you're also an idiot who wants to preserve your strength." Wang Zhong raised his eyebrows. "So you're saying you want to fight me?" The brawny man didn't say anything and charged coldly. Wang Zhong went up and blasted a beam of demonic aura at him. Puffed! The brawny man flew back and spat out a mouthful of blood. The brawny man was shocked. He thought Wang Zhong was a weakling when he saw his fair and clean appearance. He didn't expect him to be so strong. He turned and ran, but a white-clothed figure suddenly appeared behind him. The white-clothed man seemed to have just arrived. He glanced at the brawny man and didn't say anything. He threw a punch at him. The brawny man knew he was no match for him, and quickly pinched the jade pendant. In an instant, a light curtain appeared around his body and shrouded him. The incoming attack couldn't hit him at all, so it's a defensive shield. Wang Zhong understood. The brawny man snorted and disappeared. The remaining white-robed men had 3 tails. It should be known that those who could come here were the younger generation of the family. Even Princess Meng Wei, who had the most 9-tailed fox bloodline, had only cultivated to 5 tails. Those who had 3 tails were actually the best of the younger generation. After feeling that Wang Zhong wasn't to be trifled with, he smiled and said, "Friend, don't worry. I'll leave. You're not going to attack me? Although I also want to marry Princess 9-tailed Fox, I know my limits. With my strength, I won't fight to the end." "Is that so? Then why did you come in?" "Ha ha ha, I came in to see those people." The white-clothed man pointed at the mountaintop, where 2 lonely figures stood. These 2 people were the younger generation of the 6 major family clans. They were powerful beings with 4 tails. The younger generation of the other major family clans didn't seem to have arrived yet, but they were probably going to gather soon. When that time came, the battle between these people would be the highlight of this joust for a spouse event. With our strength, we're definitely no match for those people, so there's no need to fight to the death. Chapter 467. Wang Zhong had heard of the white-robed man's argument before, but he found it strange. Since this person knew this, why did he still come in? So he asked this question. The white-robed man smiled and said, "I came in because I wanted to see the experts of my generation and know the gap between me and myself. Only then can I improve. I have to find a place to hide." The white-robed man left in a flash. Die! Unexpectedly at this moment, someone suddenly attacked from behind Wang Zhong. It seemed that this person had been hiding for a while. After hearing what the white-robed man said, Wang Zhong was no longer in the mood to fight. His figure flashed and he left. Damn it, he actually ran away. The remaining person snorted coldly. Coincidentally, there were people coming out, so they started to fight. There were many people like the white-robed man who stayed out of it, but relatively speaking, most of the demon foxes came in to fight for a glimmer of hope of marrying Princess Nine-Tailed Fox. These people also knew that they were too weak compared to the experts of the younger generation of the 6 great clans. However, as a demon fox with dreams, they also thought that if these experts were injured, they might be lucky enough to fight to the end. Even if they were defeated in the end, it would still be good to get into the top 10. At least they would be famous in the future. The battle here was not unknown to the outside world. In the huge open-air square outside, there were dozens of screens of various sizes projected in the sky. These screens were like huge surveillance cameras, reflecting everyone in the secret realm. The people on the top of the mountain are the juniors of the Bai clan, right? They are on the top of the mountain as soon as they came out. Their luck is not bad. The other demon foxes don't dare to go near them. Someone in the square sighed. Of course, which one of those who can enter the secret realm this time isn't the most outstanding of these clans? With their strength, who would dare to go near them? It's said to be a competition for marriage. So many people have come, but in fact, only the young disciples of the 6 great clans are qualified. You can't say that. This world is so big, and there are still many talented geniuses. It just depends on whether they can stand out. Hey look, there's someone who has been avoiding the battle. The person he was referring to was naturally Wang Zhong, who had spoken to the man in white before. After chatting with the white-robed man, Wang Zhong was even more certain of his decision to preserve his strength. Many people thought that he was easy to bully and tried to kill him, but he dodged them all. As time passed, more and more people were teleported out of the secret realm. The number of people Wang Zhong encountered also decreased. At this moment, he was hiding behind a rock. More than 2 hours later, an explosion suddenly came from the top of the mountain. Wang Zhong looked over and saw that the experts had already started fighting. This was not strange. After fighting for so long, those who were not strong had already left this place and were teleported out. The remaining people were all experts. The young disciples of several large clans all chose their own targets and began to fight. They did not choose to sit on top of the mountain and watch the tigers fight. After all, the people outside were watching. If they played these little tricks, they would be ridiculed by the world. The battle continued into the afternoon. As time passed, the periphery of the mystic realm began to shrink. It was shrinking in size. In this way, some people couldn't hide even if they wanted to. Finally, the son of the head of the He clan, the fox demon He Xiandao, gained the upper hand and fought to the end among the clans. Some remaining disciples of small clans gradually came to him. Unfortunately, they were no match for He Xiandao and were defeated one after another. At this time, Wang Zhong also ran toward the top of the mountain. There were only 3 people left on the top of the mountain. The other 2 knew that they were no match for He Xiandao, so they chose to attack at the same time in order to fight against He Xiandao. At this time, He Xiandao was also at the end of his rope. As he was not allowed to take any medicine to replenish his strength, he could only grit his teeth and persevere. However, at this time, something unexpected happened. He Xiandao's body suddenly surged with an aura. He was about to level up. As expected of a genius, He Xiandao actually leveled up while facing the attacks of 2 people. A tyrannical aura suddenly gushed out of He Xiandao's body. I didn't expect to level up at this time. Ha 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 ha. The shocking aura frightened the other 2 fox demons. However, they also knew that if they did not get rid of He Xiandao this time, they would really lose their chance. Both of them had put in a lot of effort to reach the end. As long as they won, they would be able to get Princess Nine-Tailed Fox. At the thought of Princess Nine-Tailed Fox's beautiful face and slender figure, their hearts were burning with passion. Young Master He, sorry for the offense. Both of them unleashed a shocking aura at the same time, wanting to take down He Xiandao in one fell swoop. Ha ha ha. Do you think you can sneak up on me while I'm leveling up? You're overestimating yourself. He Xiandao's 4 tails suddenly straightened, and a short tail slowly grew out. Oh my god, He Xiandao actually broke through. That's amazing. He's also 5-tailed, the same as Miss Mingwei. Young Master He is really the chosen one. It seems like the candidate this time has been decided. Inside the secret realm, He Xiandao used the last of his strength to finish off the two people. Ha ha ha, I won. He Xiandao laughed wildly. He was already thinking of having a few babies with Princess Nine-Tailed Fox. Outside the He clan's field, loud cheers also broke out. Ha ha ha, my son He Xiandao really has the qualifications to marry the princess. Ha ha ha. The head of the He clan did not hide his pride at all. There seems to be another one inside. I know this guy. He avoided the battle from the beginning. He's a piece of trash. Fox's character is too bad. How did he survive until now? A fox like him would be beaten to death when he goes out. He's just a piece of trash. My son is a fox that has the qualifications to marry the princess. Why would he be afraid of him? Everyone nodded. Although He Xiandao was at the end of his rope and had just leveled up to 5-tailed, his foundation was still unstable. But no matter how unstable it was, he was still stronger than a nobody. In the secret realm, He Xiandao also sensed that there was an additional person behind him. At this moment, the secret realm had shrunk to about 10 square meters. This was the area for the final battle. There's actually another fox. What's your name? You must be hiding in a very secluded place to be able to hide until now, He Xiandao said calmly. Wang Zhong said, My name is Atu. Sorry for the offense. Wang Zhong did not waste any time and attacked. Tisk, although I'm at the end of my rope, it's still enough to deal with you. He Xiandao's domineering aura gushed out. His entire body was like a bullet, shooting towards Wang Zhong. This move of his carried a force of 1,000 pounds. If an ordinary fox were to be hit by it, it would cause them to bleed. Surprisingly, Wang Zhong blocked He Xiandao's attack directly. He Xiandao frowned, feeling a little strange. In the next moment, Wang Zhong threw a left hook over. He Xiandao felt as if he was hit by a mountain and was sent flying. Plop. He Xiandao fell to the ground and fainted. At the same time, the token on his body shattered automatically, turning into a defensive shield and teleporting him out. Everyone in the square was dumbfounded. Am I seeing things? He Xiandao lost. Young Master He. Seeing He Xiandao appear in the square, many of the He family members hurried out. Smack! The head of the He family slammed the table. There's something wrong with the rules of this joust for a spouse. My son is already at the end of his rope and has just become a 5-tailed beast. This kid took advantage of him. Many people in the square nodded in agreement. In their view, Wang Zhong did take advantage of the situation. He Xiandao was already at the end of his rope and was only a little stronger than an ordinary human. Wang Zhong's appearance made He Xiandao unable to fight anymore. Many people in the Meng family's camp were whispering, Head of the family, the information is out. This guy is called Atu. He's a free-range demon fox. The so-called free-range actually meant that he was an itinerant cultivator. These people were looking at the information that Wang Zhong filled in when he signed up. It showed that his name was Atu, with 1 tail. He did not belong to any family and had been wandering outside. One tail. Seeing this number, everyone's expression changed drastically. What the hell is going on? A 1-tailed kid took advantage of him. Head of the family, there's no way Princess Mengwei will marry someone like that. An elder beside Meng Wuchang was so agitated that his eyes turned red. A 1-tailed demon fox is the worst of us foxes. How can such a trashy demon fox profane our princess? That's right. We must break the engagement. Meng Wuchang's expression was ugly. But so many families are watching. If we break the engagement, won't we be laughed at by everyone? Especially by the humans. They'll laugh at us. Let them laugh at us. It's better than letting the princess marry a piece of trash, right? That's right, head of the family. This is a serious matter. We must break the engagement. Does anyone have any good ideas? Meng Wuchang muttered. It's not convenient to break the engagement directly. We should think of a better way to break the engagement. The group looked at each other, unsure of what to do. What do you think, Wei Wei? At this time, Mengwei appeared wearing a veil. You should have heard. This one-tailed ordinary fox is not good enough for you in terms of talent or family background. So we must think of a way to break the engagement. Meng Wucheng looked at his daughter, who he was very satisfied with. Everyone knew that Meng Wei was not only talented, but also extremely intelligent. She must have a good idea. As soon as Meng Wei appeared, the surrounding people took the initiative to make way for her. It was obvious how high her status was. Her eyes were cold as she said, "I have a plan. Not only can we break the engagement, but we can also make the world stand on our side." "Oh," Meng Wucheng nodded. "Daughter, what are you going to do?" "We can do this." Meng Wei said some ideas. When everyone heard it, they all gave her a thumbs up. The princess's plan is indeed profound. Then those people outside won't be able to say anything. Chapter 468. After Wang Zhong came out of the secret realm, he naturally became the center of attention. So this is that little bastard. Oh my god, Princess Nine-Tailed Fox is actually marrying such a fox. Why? Oh my god, why? Sigh, this is fate. I'm going to kill him, kill him. Princess Nine-Tailed Fox can't be tarnished by such trash. The foxes in the square were all filled with righteous indignation. They couldn't wait to rush up and chop Wang Zhong up. However, Wang Zhong ignored all of this. What a joke. After living for so many lifetimes, if he was frightened by these gazes, he wouldn't be able to survive. Congratulations, young man. You're the last survivor of this joust for marriage. An old man walked over. His body was full of demonic aura. He was obviously a great demon. In order to show that he was also a fox, Wang Zhong had already stretched out his fox tail and released a trace of his demonic aura at the same time. This demonic aura was very weak. Wang Zhong couldn't do anything about it. He had already discovered that he had two constitutions. The Tyrant Dragon constitution seemed to be suppressing the Nine-Tailed Fox constitution, so his demonic aura couldn't be released. Sensing Wang Zhong's weak demonic aura, the white-bearded old man despised him even more. He thought to himself that he definitely couldn't let the princess marry such a low-level fox. However, he was an old man after all. The white-bearded old man chuckled and said, "Come with me." Okay. Wang Zhong followed him. As he walked, he felt a little strange. Why were the fox demons looking at him, as if he was an enemy? When he walked in front of a young fox demon, this guy actually spat a mouthful of thick phlegm in front of him. Wang Zhong frowned. Although he was unhappy, he didn't say anything and just walked away. "Senior, where are you taking me? Are we going to see Princess Nine-Tailed Fox directly?" When they walked into a hall, Wang Zhong couldn't help but ask curiously. The white-bearded old man thought to himself, "Brat, you're dreaming. You want to see the princess? Why don't you take a look at yourself?" He said, "You can't see the princess for the time being. I'll arrange for you to rest now. After resting for a while, I'll let you see the princess tomorrow." I see. Wang Zhong was actually looking forward to it. After all, she was the princess of the Nine-Tailed Fox clan. Perhaps it was because he was a fox in this life, so he always felt excited when he saw a female fox. What the hell was this? Wang Zhong was speechless. The residence arranged for Wang Zhong was not bad. It was unusually spacious and incomparably spacious. The bright room had a bath, a large bed, delicious food, and even two exceptionally beautiful female foxes waiting here. As expected of a big clan, their prestige is quite big. Wang Zhong thought to himself, "Tu, stay here for the night. I'll let you see the princess tomorrow. Have a good rest." The white-bearded old man smiled evilly. "Thank you." After sending off the white-bearded elder, the two attendants did not leave. Instead, they walked over and said, "Young Master Tu, I have already prepared the hot water for you. Please change and take a bath." "Yes, thank you." Wang Zhong didn't think too much about it and walked over. At the same time, he was worried that the Meng family would look down on him due to his low birth status. But now he felt that the treatment was quite good. "You can leave now. I'll take a bath myself," Wang Zhong said. Yes. The two attendants looked at each other and seemed to be a little disappointed. After they left, the white-bearded elder came over and asked, "Why did you come out?" "Atu told us to come out. This guy knows. You can leave now. Yes. At the moment, Wang Zhong was soaking in the water and felt extremely comfortable. After taking a bath, he went to bed and rested. It was already late at night. Wang Zhong seemed to be sleeping, but in fact, he had been observing his surroundings. He had to be on guard when he was outside. Although the Meng family seemed to be very polite to him, who knew what they were thinking? He had to be on guard. Suddenly the door opened. Wang Zhong frowned. Under the night light, he could see a female fox wearing a transparent gauze dress crawling in. She's not dressed appropriately. Wang Zhong cursed in his heart. The female fox came to Wang Zhong's bed. Wang Zhong knew that he couldn't pretend to be asleep anymore. He immediately got up and shouted, "What are you doing?" "Ah, young master, it's like this. I'm here to serve you." "Is there such a rule in the Meng family?" Wang Zhong said. "Well, yes. But I don't need it." The maid said, Yes. Before you marry the princess, you must test whether your function is effective or not." Wang Zhong's face darkened and said, "No need to test, it's 100% effective." The maid didn't listen and continued to climb up. The other party didn't have any malicious intentions. Wang Zhong naturally couldn't do anything. He could only climb down helplessly and said, "Since you're up, I can only go down." "Young master, in fact, you don't have to be embarrassed. This is our rule." The maidservant smiled, and the clothes on her body actually slowly fell off. "Hey, don't mess around." Just as Wang Zhong finished speaking, the maidservant actually shouted, "Help, help, help." Just as he said that, with a bang, the door was violently slammed open, and 7 or 8 people rushed in from outside. The leader was the old man in white. As soon as he came in, he shouted, "Atu, you actually want to do something bad." The maidservant hurriedly put on her clothes and ran over to the white-bearded old man crying, "Master sure sob 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 sob. Atu said he wanted to ask me something and let me in. I didn't think he would sob sob sob. Atu, you're already the son-in-law of our Meng clan, yet you're still fooling around with servants? What do you think our Meng clan is?" Saoirse suddenly shouted. Wang Zhong immediately understood. The politeness from before was all fake. The real purpose of these people was to frame him. Wang Zhong's face immediately turned cold. "If you don't want me to marry the princess, you can just say so. Why do you have to resort to such despicable means?" Saoirse also knew that he was in the wrong. His expression turned awkward. But when he thought of Wang Zhong's talent, he snorted coldly and said, "What are you talking about? Why would we frame you?" "That's right. Why would we frame you? Are you worth it?" 2 more old men rushed in. "You guys came pretty quickly. It seems you've been waiting for a while. Kid, you're still so sharp-tongued even after committing a crime." Meng Wuchang also appeared at the door. "You've committed a crime in the Meng clan. According to our rules, you're not worthy of marrying my daughter." "Not worthy?" Wang Zhong coldly looked at this group of people. In fact, if they didn't want him to marry the princess, they could have just said so earlier. Why did they have to frame him? Wasn't this the same as setting up a monument for a whore's chastity? Wang Zhong clenched his fist and shouted, "Meng clan, you're framing me. With so many people here, are you trying to kill me? We won't kill you to avoid being ridiculed by the world. But you must leave Fox City immediately and never come back. Otherwise we'll kill you. Ha ha ha, you'll have to have the ability to do so." Wang Zhong smiled. For now the other party had more people. He naturally wouldn't be so stupid to fight them head-on. But later, he would slowly deal with the Meng clan. As for the princess, she didn't want to marry him? Fine. I'll show her how powerful I am. "Get out of here." Meng Wuchang shouted. "Humph, the mountains will not change, and the rivers will flow. Just you wait." Wang Zhong left the place. Just as he arrived at the street, Wang Zhong frowned. The street was filled with portraits of him. They described how he bullied the maids and was expelled from the Meng clan. This Meng clan is really ruthless. Wang Zhong walked on the street. A few people recognized Wang Zhong. "Isn't this the Meng clan's son-in-law? Ha ha ha. I was wondering how he could get a beauty like the princess. Isn't that right? Boy, get out of here or don't blame us for being impolite." These foxes had ugly faces. One could tell at a glance that they weren't good foxes. Wang Zhong sneered. He didn't care about these small fries' mockery. After entering a small alley, his figure flashed and directly hit his aura. He then disappeared. Why is his demonic aura gone? Really? The few people who followed him were very confused. They didn't notice that a person was walking on the street. This person was wearing a robe. At first glance, they couldn't see his face. This person was naturally Wang Zhong. Meng clan, don't blame me for being unrighteous. Princess Nine-Tailed Fox, I will make you pay. After returning to his inn, Wang Zhong looked at the palace-like residence of the Meng clan in the distance, and coldly said, "The news of Atu's disappearance swept the city in an instant. Some said that he must have been secretly executed by the Meng clan. Others said that Atu might have left the city, and wouldn't dare to come back, even if he had 100 times the courage. Some said that he had been staying in the city, and crying in grief. There were all kinds of rumors. However, most of them said that Wang Zhong must have been executed. In fact, people with discerning eyes could see that Wang Zhong was messed with by the Meng clan. However, no one dared to say anything. They even thought that Wang Zhong was not worthy of Princess Nine-Tailed Fox. As the days passed, there was less and less news about Wang Zhong. The Meng clan who originally wanted to find Wang Zhong's whereabouts could only give up in the end. They concluded that Wang Zhong must have run away in fear. Perhaps he ran to the human race. This matter came to an end. However, an even bigger matter attracted everyone's attention. The Meng clan was going to hold a joust for a spouse again. Strictly speaking, the Meng clan was very interested in Hey Restless. Hey Restless and the Meng clan were both big clans. In this battle, Hey Restless succeeded in giving birth to 5 tails. Therefore, it was best for Hey Restless to marry Princess Nine-Tailed Fox. However, the other clans strongly opposed this news. Then an even bigger accident occurred. Several of the other clans' outstanding disciples also gave birth to 5 tails. As a result, the competition for Hey Restless increased. Therefore, the Meng clan decided to hold another joust for a spouse. Chapter 469. News that the joust for a spouse was being held spread all over the country, and many people knew about it. Wang Zhong naturally knew about it as well. As the day drew closer, Wang Zhong would often mingle with the crowd and secretly inquire about Meng Wei. Finally, he received news that Meng Wei would leave the city and go to the Fox Immortal Temple to pray before the joust for a spouse began. The Fox Immortal Temple was located on top of a fox mountain in the outskirts of Fox City. This was the birthplace of fox demons, and there used to be countless fox demons on the mountain. The Fox Immortal Temple was a place of faith for fox demons. It was similar to how humans prayed to gods and Buddhas. Meng Wei wore a veil when she went out, so no one noticed her. She brought a few guards and maids with her. After arriving at the Fox Immortal Temple, Meng Wei sincerely kowtowed and said, "Fox Immortal above, I hope this joust for a spouse will go smoothly. Please don't cause trouble like last time. Please bestow me with a suitable husband." Saying this, Meng Wei respectfully kowtowed and lit 3 incense sticks. After that, Meng Wei rested for a while and prepared to eat in the inner room. After entering the room, Meng Wei ate alone. The food here was very special. It was all dried fish that foxes love to eat. As she ate, Meng Wei thought to herself, "Everyone says that the Fox Immortal Temple is very effective. It's a pity that I couldn't come here before. Now that I've begged my father to come, I hope the Fox Immortal can bestow me with a suitable husband." Meng Wei couldn't help but think of the remaining young experts from the previous joust for a spouse. She sighed softly. Those experts are indeed talented, but there's always a feeling of uniformity. How I wish I could have an unforgettable love. Although she was a fox demon, demons and humans were the same in this day and age. Young female demons all had the heart of a young girl and wanted to have an unforgettable love. Sometimes, Meng Wei would even wonder why there wasn't a Mr. Right who could viciously hurt her once. "I've lived for so long and I've never been in love." Sigh. Meng Wei bitterly smiled and suddenly felt tired. Was it because she had been praying for too long? Meng Wei shook her head. Suddenly her heart thumped. Why did the demonic qi in her body suddenly disappear? She became more and more surprised and hurriedly urged her demonic chi to no avail. Men. She was not an idiot. She knew that she must have been poisoned. However, there was no response from outside the door. She walked to the door with great difficulty. When she opened the door, her heart turned cold. The guards and maids were already lying on the ground, and it was hard to tell whether they were dead or alive. In their place was a familiar figure. "Hello, princess, how have you been?" The one who spoke was naturally Wang Zhong. In order to take revenge on the Meng family, he had secretly investigated the news of Meng Wei going out. So he had been waiting here for a long time. After seeing Meng Wei come in to eat, he decisively took out the poison gas refined by the wild sky python. After knocking out the people outside, he used medicine to make Meng Wei lose her ability to fight. You are. Wang Zhong entered the house and said indifferently, "Last time's first place, too. So it's you. You lecher scoundrel. What do you want?" Wang Zhong said, "Your Meng clan is framing me, yet you still ask me what I want." After saying that, he had already grabbed Meng Wei's neck, making her unable to speak. "Do you believe that I won't kill you immediately?" Tyrannical killing intent enveloped Meng Wei, causing her heart to turn cold. She could only clench her teeth and whisper, Don't. Wang Zhong naturally wanted to scare Meng Wei, so he smiled lightly. "If you don't want to die, then be smart." After saying that, Wang Zhong put a black robe on Meng Wei's head and a coarse hemp garment on her body. He also changed her shoes. Now with a rough look, Meng Wei looked like an old woman. Of course, this was not enough. Meng Wei's body smell was very unique, so he took out the prepared mud and threw it on Meng Wei's body. This way, the smell would be covered. Going out, he pulled Meng Wei to the carriage he had prepared long ago. "Get in." Meng Wei was abnormally sullen. She wanted to cry for help several times, but there was no demonic chi in her body, and her body was powerless. If she shouted just now, she would definitely be killed. "Let me go, my Meng clan will not treat you unfairly." Meng Wei cried and shouted as the carriage moved. "Ha, do you think I will still believe you?" Wang Zhong shook his head. "Then where are you bringing me to?" "You will know when the time comes." The carriage entered the forest, and the road became narrower and narrower. When they reached the end of the road, Wang Zhong untied the horse's rope and let the horse go on its own. The remaining carriage frame was directly burned by Wang Zhong, leaving no traces behind. "Go!" Carrying Meng Wei, he dashed into the forest. Whoa! Meng Wei kept crying and begging for mercy, but it was useless. Wang Zhong was expressionless. The reason why he was targeting Meng Wei, other than revenge, was because he was preparing to use the Stockholm Syndrome on Meng Wei. The Stockholm Syndrome was a kind of complex where the victim would have feelings for the perpetrator, and even help the perpetrator. This kind of feeling would cause the victim to have a favorable impression, dependence, and even help the perpetrator. After a period of time, the hostage would have a psychological dependence on the perpetrator. Their life and death were in the hands of the perpetrator, and if the perpetrator let them live, they would be extremely grateful. They would share their fate with the perpetrator and treat the perpetrator's future as their own. They would treat the perpetrator's safety as their own safety. Thus, they would adopt an attitude of us against them and treat the perpetrator as their enemy. This was called the Stockholm Syndrome. It seemed very shameless, but Wang Zhong felt that this was called giving them a taste of their own medicine. Who asked them to deal with him first? Since they actually framed him, then there was no need for him to be polite. This time, Wang Zhong walked for half a day. Everywhere he went, he encountered many vicious beasts, but he managed to avoid them all. "Where are you going?" The road was too bumpy, and Meng Wei could not stand it anymore. "Pa!" Wang Zhong fiercely hit her and shouted, "Don't be long-winded." Meng Wei was incomparably ashamed and angry. She could not remember how many times she had been humiliated. She was beaten for asking a question. She was beaten for yelling that she was tired. And she was beaten for breathing a little louder. Why was it like this? "Pa! Why did you hit me again?" Wang Zhong sneered. "Seeing that you were silent, I thought something happened to you." "You! Stop arguing, we're going down." Looking at the surroundings, Meng Wei was scared out of her wits. At this moment, they had actually arrived at the bottom of a cliff. What do you want? Our new home is below. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Wang Zhong jumped down and landed steadily on a protruding open space on the cliff. What was surprising was that there was a small house in the middle of the clearing. There was also some miscellaneous furniture, and a clean bed in the house. These things were very new, and it was obvious that Wang Zhong had bought them recently. This is our new home, Wang Zhong said indifferently. Bastard, I'm telling you I won't agree. Don't think of doing anything to me. Meng Wei resisted with all her might. But how could she be Wang Zhong's opponent when she was powerless? She was then kicked into the house and locked up. This bottle of medicine that could make people powerless could be used for a long time. So Wang Zhong was prepared to take it slow. That night, Wang Zhong and Meng Wei entered the bridal chamber. First he tied her 4 limbs and then, whoa. That night, Meng Wei cried very sadly and spasmed a few times. For the next few days, Meng Wei cried and even begged Wang Zhong to let her go. Unfortunately, Wang Zhong naturally would not do that casually. Eat. The weather was good, and Wang Zhong roasted a lot of dried fish. Looking at the dried fish, Meng Wei ate it. Although she hated Wang Zhong and wished she could immediately grind his bones to dust, she had to admit that his culinary skills were pretty good. To her, eating every day was the happiest time of the day for her. Spasms aside, eating was not counted. It's already been more than a month. My Meng family will definitely mobilize everyone to look for me. Once they find me, you'll die an ugly death. Meng Wei angrily bit off a piece of fish. Wang Zhong said indifferently, wait until they find this place. Meng Wei couldn't help but be silent. That's right, this place was too remote. Not only was it on a cliff, but it was also surrounded by dense forests. There were many vicious beasts living here. How would they find this place? Then, when are you going to let me go? You've already done that to me, so can you let me go? I'll let you go later. When? We'll see. Wang Zhong got up and said, let's go in. These 3 simple words caused Meng Wei to tremble incessantly. Can we rest today? Let's go. It was a sleepless night. These days lasted for more than 2 months. Suddenly one day, Meng Wei was eating her favorite dried fish and suddenly vomited. Ugh. So disgusting. Meng Wei was still young. Of course, she didn't know that this was a sign of pregnancy. However, Wang Zhong knew this. With a happy expression he said, give me your hand. Oh. Meng Wei obediently handed her hand to Wang Zhong. Now she could be said to be very obedient. After so long, she had already given up resisting. As for hating Wang Zhong, she believed that she still hated Wang Zhong. But she had to admit that other than having no freedom, everything else was pretty good. At least she was well taken care of. After Wang Zhong held her hand, Meng Wei's heart jumped. This was a feeling of her heart beating very fast. Why am I like this? Looking at Wang Zhong's chiseled face, Meng Wei suddenly felt her face burning. Wang Zhong was a veterinarian, so he could roughly measure a fox's pregnancy. After taking a look, Wang Zhong's brows twitched. Got it. Got what? Meng Wei asked curiously. You're pregnant. What? Meng Wei's expression changed. I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. Wang Zhong was very surprised, but he didn't want to spoil the fun, so he cooperated. I really don't have a single drop left. After a long time, Wang Zhong begged for mercy. The happy days passed day by day. Looking at the 3 children who were getting stronger and stronger, Meng Wei was very happy. However, in the depths of her heart, she was still somewhat worried. That night, after squeezing Wang Zhong dry again, Meng Wei said, when are we leaving? You want to leave? Our children will eventually see the outside world. We can't always stay here, right? Wang Zhong was silent. In fact, he had long planned to leave here. Don't worry, Atu. Although my family doesn't like you, I'll tell them. Anyway, we already have children. Don't worry, I won't abandon you. Wang Zhong chuckled and didn't say anything. Instead, he said, well, get ready. Let's leave here. Well, Atu, but when we go out, you'll be behind me. Please don't be angry if others gossip. Then, Meng Wei sighed and said, Our fox family actually values talent very much. You only have one tail, so your strength is too low. Even the gatekeeper of the Meng family is stronger than you." Wang Zhong was a little speechless. Although he didn't cultivate these days, it was because he didn't need to. It was true that the nine-tailed fox constitution hadn't improved, but the tyrant dragon body was growing all the time. But he didn't say it out loud. He just smiled faintly. "When we reach the Meng family, I'll protect you," Meng Wei said. "Go to sleep." The next day, Wang Zhong put the 3 children in a bamboo cage. Then, he carried the bamboo cage on his back and went to the cliff with Meng Wei. Meng Wei had already recovered her strength. Her 5 fox tails swayed slightly as the two came to the periphery of the forest. In order to avoid trouble, Meng Wei put away her fox tail and prepared to enter Fox City. But as soon as they entered the city, they immediately found something wrong. The formerly bustling Fox City had lost a lot of people. The shops on both sides were closed. They didn't know what had happened. "Little brother, what happened in Fox City?" Wang Zhong stopped a fox demon, who seemed to be preparing to flee, and asked. This fox demon looked very young. After seeing Wang Zhong's fox tail, he had some trust in Wang Zhong. He said, "You just came from the human side, right? Let me tell you, hurry up and flee. Our fox clan fought with the wolf clan and the tiger clan because of a mine. We didn't expect the tiger clan to bring in so many other great demons. Now the 6 fox clans are either dead or disabled. I'm afraid we can't hold this city." Then, the fox demon packed up and left with a sigh. "If we lose this battle, I'm afraid our fox clan will be like the cat clan and the dog clan. We'll become a small demon clan." Although there were many types of demon clans, there were very few that could form a large clan like the fox clan. In addition to having many experts, it was more because they had their own Fox City. But now Fox City was trampled by the Tiger Clan and the Wolf Clan. It would be very difficult for the Fox Clan to become a force in the future. "Father, mother," Meng Wei cried. This time, she cried even more miserably than when she was kidnapped by Wang Zhong. "Don't worry. Let's go and take a look." After walking all the way, they finally arrived at the Meng clan. At this moment, the main palace of the Meng was no longer as glorious as before. The periphery seemed to have been burned by fire. There were no guards at the entrance. Meng Wei walked in, and a maid ran over at this time. "This is the Meng's place, quickly leave." Even the guards have become maids? Meng Wei was a bit uncomfortable. She took off the black robe on her head and said, "It's me, 9th princess." Ninth princess." The maid was stunned and anxiously said, "9th princess, you didn't come earlier or later. Why did you come back now? What is going on? The lords have already brought everyone out to prepare for battle." "What?" "Quickly take me to see my father." "Okay." The maid helplessly sighed. After seeing Wang Zhong and the little fox demon on his back, she understood that the 9th princess had a child with another wild fox. Poor 9th princess. She followed the maid into the palace and came to the training ground at the back. This place was very big. It was the place where the Meng trained their soldiers. At this moment it was packed with people. Clearly, they were preparing for a battle. Aside from the Meng family, the other 5 families were here. After all, this was a big matter for the Fox clan. Although they were competitors in the past, in the face of a life and death battle, all the foxes were ready to put aside their differences and work together. The news of the 9-tailed princess's return swept through the upper echelons. Meng Wuchang and the others came to the meeting hall and saw Wang Zhong, Meng Wei, and his 2 grandsons and 1 granddaughter. "Atu!" Meng Wuchang gnashed his teeth and stared at Wang Zhong. "So it was you who kidnapped my daughter?" "Father-in-law," Wang Zhong said. "Who is your father-in-law? Die for me." Meng Wuchang was furious. He reached out and wanted to kill Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong was naturally not afraid. He was about to fight when Meng Wei suddenly blocked in front of Wang Zhong. "Father! Wei, get out of the way." "9th princess, this person kidnapped you and made us look for you for a long time. We must punish him." "That's right. We must teach him a lesson." Meng Wei looked at the indignant crowd and sighed. "Father, I'm sorry. Although Atu kidnapped me, he took good care of me. And we were in the wrong that day. He was number 1. But it's too late to say anything now. Atu and I already have a child. Wang Zhong sighed and hugged his daughter. Call me Grandpa. Grandpa. Meng Wei said in a childish voice. You're trying to piss me off. Meng Wuchang was so angry he was shaking. Lord Meng. Someone from one of the other families said. The tigers and wolves are coming. Please tell the Meng clan to prepare. All right. Meng Wuchang nodded and looked helplessly at Wang Zhong. Now that things have come to this, I have nothing more to say. Atu. Father-in-law, I'm willing to help, Wang Zhong said. You're just one tail. What can you do to help? The general next to Meng Wuchang cursed. Meng Wuchang continued. Atu, you really can't help much. I only ask you one thing. Take my daughter to the place where you were hiding. You must not let the tiger and wolf clans catch my daughter. Do you understand? Father-in-law. Wang Zhong was about to say something, but Meng Wuchang turned around and said, Everyone heed my orders. Head to the forest outside the city and prepare for battle. Dong dong dong. War drums sounded, and the foxes began to march. They were divided into 30 groups, and each group was made up of experts from the various families of the fox clan. Outside the city, the tigers and wolves were already waiting for them. Atu, what do we do now? Meng Wei lowered her head and didn't know what to do as she watched the army leave the city. The fox clan was strong, but they were up against the tigers and wolves. Come on, let's go take a look. But, don't worry. I have a plan. Wang Zhong walked out. Meng Wei didn't want to leave, but after being with Wang Zhong for so long, she had a lot of trust in Wang Zhong. It was as if Wang Zhong said he had a plan, then he really did have a plan. Chapter 471. When Wang Zhong and Meng Wei arrived outside the city, some experts from both sides were already fighting. However, anyone with a discerning eye could see that the Fox clan was at a disadvantage. After all, there were experts from the Tiger clan and the Wolf clan on the other side. There were obviously fewer experts on the Fox clan's side. Meng Wei, why are you here again? Meng Wuchang ran over angrily when he smelled Meng Wei's scent. He glared at Wang Chung and shouted, I told you to leave, why didn't you leave? Father-in-law, I want to help. Wang Chung said calmly and looked at the battlefield. The Fox clan had suffered heavy casualties. If this continued, the Fox clan would be defeated sooner or later. You sigh, I beg you let Meng Wei go. Father-in-law, I'm going over. Wang Zhong knew that this might be his opportunity to become the king of the demon clan. He wanted to show all the demons here how powerful he was. What is this silly boy doing? Meng Wuchang was stunned when he saw this scene. Atu atu. Meng Wei also shouted anxiously. Unfortunately, Wang Zhong did not stop. He soon arrived at the center of the battlefield. He immediately smelled the scent of the Tiger clan and the Wolf clan. The scent of these two demons was stronger, so it was easy to recognize them. Haha, a young boy is here. A burly Tiger clan grinned, revealing its sharp teeth, and charged at Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong grinned. Due to his special physique, he was just a one-tailed weakling in the eyes of others. How dare you come with only one tail? You're courting death. Wang Zhong did not take any weapons, and threw a punch. Is he crazy? The opponent is a Tiger clan at the Void Refinement Realm. Someone exclaimed. However, in the next moment, Wang Zhong's fist smashed through the Fox clan's chest. It was a one-hit kill. Now, Wang Zhong estimated that his physical strength had already reached a terrifying level. This scene caused an uproar. However, Wang Zhong did not stop. He rushed into a flock of sheep like a wolf and began to kill. Bang! He punched a person's chest open. Bang! Another fist smashed open a person's head. This move that ignored all defenses made the tiger and wolf demons tremble in fear. Too strong. This young man isn't weak at all. Run! Some tiger demons could not help but flee. With one demon escaping, there would be many more behind. In an instant, the originally aggressive Tiger-Wolf United Army collapsed. We won. Ha ha ha, we won. I didn't expect us to win. It seems like the 9th princess's husband did it. He killed his way into the enemy's encirclement. Long live, long live. Long live the 9th princess. At this moment, Meng Wuchang was still in a state of shock. When he saw Wang Zhong coming over, he did not know what to say. When he thought of the mocking and ridiculing Wang Zhong previously, he felt his face burning. Wang Zhong was so awesome and powerful, but he actually said that he was weak. This was really. The other families were also looking at Wang Zhong with shock. He Uneasy, who had threatened to kill Wang Zhong, was also in the group, but he did not dare to show himself now. Wang Zhong did not think much of it. He cupped his hands and said, "Everyone, I am Tu, who won first place in the joust for a spouse last time." This simple sentence made everyone look at him in a new light. "Brother Tu, you deserve to be first place. Sorry, we misunderstood you in the past. Sorry, Brother Tu. There's no need to be so polite. Let's go back and discuss how to deal with these two demons." "Alright, Tu, I didn't expect you to be so strong. I always thought you were weak, because you were only one tail." On the way back, Meng Wei was a little unhappy, because she felt that Wang Zhong had lied to her. Wang Zhong chuckled and hugged Meng Wei's waist. "You didn't tell me. How could I tell you?" I don't care. I'm angry. You have to coax me." "How do I coax you?" Wang Zhong asked helplessly. "I want to do it 5 times tonight." Meng Wei looked at Wang Zhong with glowing eyes and giggled. "You're so strong. There won't be a problem." "What?" Wang Zhong's expression changed drastically. He did not expect a married female fox to be so demanding in this aspect. If this continued, he would not be able to handle it. "Meng Wei, it's a good time to deal with the two demons. Let's wait for a few days. You can't do it, right?" "Who said?" The two of them quarreled as they returned home. But once they reached home, Meng Wuchang called Wang Zhong to a secret room. Tu, you only have one tail, but your body is so strong. There's only one possibility." Meng Wuchang took out a portrait of an 8-tailed demon fox. It was a majestic sight. One look and one could tell that this demon fox was not simple. "This is the 1 in 1,000 years talent of our fox race, Bao Jingxian." Bao Jingxian. That's right. She came from a side branch of the 9-tailed fox race. But she was born with 3 tails. Her bloodline was so strong that it was rare. Later on, she was valued by the 6 great clans. As expected, she successfully grew 8 tails when she was in her 20s. But then something happened and she disappeared. What happened to her? Wang Zhong had a feeling that this demon fox was related to him. She fell in love with a dragon. It was a stormy night. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled in the sky. "Father-in-law, please get to the point." Wang Zhong reminded solemnly. "Yes, I'm sorry." Meng Wuchang thought for a moment and continued. Bao Jingxian met a dragon when she was gathering herbs in the mountains. They fell in love, and then left to travel to the human race. She never returned. Why? Bao Jingxian was pregnant. They were able to hide their demon aura in the human race because of their dragon bloodline. They had a way to prevent Bao Jingxian from releasing her demon aura. But they did not expect that the dragon would leave temporarily because of some business. Bao Jingxian was pregnant and could not suppress her demon aura. So she was discovered. Some evil people wanted to kill her in order to obtain her demon core. A frown appeared on Wang Zhong's face. Mother. He was now sure that Bao Jingxian was his mother. The reason why his demonic qi did not leak out was because he had the bloodline of the dragon clan. The reason why your defense is so strong is because you're a dragon. This also explains why your demonic aura doesn't leak out. In other words, Bao Jingxian is most likely your mother. Because since ancient times, only Jingxian and a dragon were married in our fox family. Wang Zhong replied, "Yes, I was born in the human race. When I was born, my mother was attacked and had to leave. After that, my siblings were swallowed by a giant python. I was the only one who survived. Father-in-law, do you know where my mother is?" "Your mother escaped and came back temporarily. After she recovered, she sent people to look for you, but they found nothing. She guessed that you might have been kidnapped by cultivators. After that, she wandered the human race and looked for you." Wang Zhong was speechless. He had lived in Stone Village for so long, but no one looked for him. Thinking back, he guessed that it might be because he lived in a dog kennel. Who would have thought that a little fox would live with a pack of dogs? Okay, don't worry. I will release the news and let your mother know where you are. Then you can reunite. Thank you, father-in-law. After Wang Zhong joined the fight, the tiger and wolf factions quickly fell apart. In the end, they sent envoys to surrender. 3 months later, the tiger clan and the wolf clan presented countless heavenly materials and earthly treasures as an apology. Only then did this matter come to an end. However, the news about Wang Zhong spread throughout the demon race, and even the entire human race heard about it. Everyone knew that the Fox clan not only had Princess Meng Wei, who had the strongest nine-tailed fox bloodline, but also had a powerful one-tailed demon fox. Although this demon fox only had one tail, its strength was enough to kill those five-tailed and six-tailed experts. After knowing this, many higher-ups of the demon race came to meet him. Wang Zhong familiarized himself with them one by one. After settling the matter here, Wang Zhong took Meng Wei and the 3 children out for a trip. Xiaowei, let's go to the human race in a few days, Wang Zhong said as they walked on the street. Isn't it fun here? No, it's just that there are many people I know there. Alright then, bring me to meet him. Okay. Wang Zhong nodded slightly. When he returned to the palace, a servant suddenly came to report that Bao Jingxian had returned. These days, the Fox clan had been secretly looking for Bao Jingxian. After hearing that Wang Zhong was a surviving demon fox from the human race, Bao Jingxian returned immediately. When he came to the main hall, a white-haired woman was already waiting. She looked at the wall in front of her silently. Tu, you go in first. Meng Wei stood at the door obediently. Wang Zhong nodded slightly and walked in. This smell was very familiar to Wang Zhong. He remembered that when he was young, this was the smell on his mother's body. The person in front of him was his mother. The white-haired woman also sensed the movement behind her. She turned around abruptly. Child, the white-haired woman was a fox after all. She immediately smelled Wang Zhong's scent. Mother. Child. Mother and son finally recognized each other. Where have you been all these years? Bao Jingxian asked in tears. Then, Wang Zhong recounted what happened to him all these years. What? All these years, you've been treated as a dog? And a crossbreed dog? Yes. My poor child. Bao Jingxian cried for a while and told her story. Overall, she had been looking for him in the human race all these years. Later on, she even went with her father to look for him. Where's my father? Wang Zhong asked. Your father is called Long Nung. He was looking for you somewhere else. He's rushing over now. Oh mother. Take a look at your grandchildren. Looking at the 3 children in Meng Wei's arms, Bao Jingxian smiled happily. But when she thought of her other children, her heart ached. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.